Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Ed Carpus Field at Crump Stadium in Chester, Virginia. I'm Tim Cole along with Bob Hintz. We welcome you to the Group AAA Division 5 state semifinals. The Hampton Crabbers with a perfect 12-0 record, and the Meadowbrook Monarchs with an 11-1 record. Their only loss to Hopewell early in the season, and they avenged that loss last week with a 31-21 victory over Hopewell. But, Bob, we have a great matchup, terrific afternoon, football, perfect weather, got no clouds in the sky, no wind, no rain, perfect day.
It's got to be a perfect day. I tell you, we've done a lot of ball games, Tim, where the weather has not cooperated, but today is a perfect day for football, especially for the Hampton High Crabbers. They come in with an undefeated streak. They are at the top of their game, and Mike Smith and Alvis Mann and Danny Mitchell, they like to get everybody on the same page, and they need to get better as each game goes, and they are now peaking.
Absolutely. This afternoon's game is brought to you by Zooms, with 14 convenient Peninsula locations to serve you. And also by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, where Nancy Staten is the manager. Well, Bob, the Hampton Crabbers, of course, did not get to this status last year. First time in many years they did not make the playoffs, but they're back, and they're back with a vengeance.
And they really are, Tim, and what I like about this team is the way that they approach each game. It's each game they do workmanlike ethics. They do what they have to do. They listen to the coaches. Last Monday, they put in a new offense for Phoebus, and they did it in a week, and the kids responded, and you see what they did in that Phoebus ball game. They end up winning it. It was a close game, but it was a game that was a little different than Bill D had expected. But let's look at this Monarch team from Meadowbrook, Tim. They do the same type of thing that Woodside does. They run a wing tee offense, which is a lot of misdirection. Their offensive pass patterns very similar to what Woodside did, and left-handed quarterback, same thing. So I look for Hampton to come into this game with a little more confidence, because they have met more than one team with the wing tee offense this year.
Well, and also the forte of this team from Meadowbrook is the fact that they are a very good defensive team. They've only allowed 14 points a game coming into this playoff. Of course, the Hampton Crabbers have allowed around 7 points a game. So it could be a defensive battle. The other side of the ball, the Monarchs, which we'll refer to them rather than Meadowbrook Monarchs. I'll be tangling over that all day long.
Yeah, wouldn't we?
But the Monarchs do have a fairly balanced attack. That's what you have to do in order to advance to this position in the state championship.
Right. I talked to Danny Mitchell early in the week, and he had charted out 100 and some odd plays, and out of that 100 and some odd plays, they only threw the ball about 30 some times. So I said about a third of the time they're gonna pass the ball. But they're a very quick team. They're not very big, but they're very quick. But one thing Hampton has in its favor is their meat squad. And a lot of people say, "What do you mean meat squad?" Tim, Danny told me that meat squad runs the offense and the defense of the opponent they're going to play that week, and he says sometimes they beat us. He said they are so good at mimicking what we're going to see, that just makes it that much better.
Well, of course, the teams to get to this point have had to play extremely well. As I mentioned in the opening, Meadowbrook only one loss. That was to Hopewell during the regular season. And then last Friday night, they defeated Hopewell 31-21 to get to this game. On the other hand, the Hampton Crabbers had to get past a very formidable opponent all year long in the Phoebus Phantoms. They beat them during the regular season 33-22. And then in one of the best games that you and I have undoubtedly seen in years, last Friday night, the Crabbers defeated Bill D's team 26-21. A lot of the fans may not have even known. I want to give some kudos here to Bill D. This is Hampton's day, and I understand that, but Bill D and his squad just had a terrific season. Their quarterback had a broken hand from the first play of the third quarter on, and of course they were without Elon Lewis for almost the entire game.
He run about 3 or 4 plays was all.
That was about it. And so to congratulate Bill D and his squad on their tremendous season and effort, just wanted to get that out there. And I saw Bill actually the very next morning, and he was still somewhat devastated. They had devoted that season to Ronnie Hendricks, and of course they had hoped to win it for him, but it didn't work out that way. But certainly they They gave it all, boy. They left nothing on the field.
Well, they really did, Tim. But you got to take your hats off to Hampton High School.
Oh, absolutely.
A team that goes undefeated through the Peninsula District, which is one of the toughest districts in the state, whether it's Division 5, Division 6, 4, 3, or whatever. And they come through it undefeated. They handily set down a Booker T team. Granted, they had a 5-5 record. They weren't that good, but you get to the playoffs, anything can happen, and you and I know that. But I just like the way that the Hampton approaches each contest, and it reflects on the coaches. Coach Smith and those guys that coach these guys, they get the kudos.
Well, we'll get into that a little bit more, but right now let's go down to the center of the field as we will have the official pregame ceremony. Our referee, Jeff James, will be conducting that, and he does have a mic, so we will listen in for those pregame ceremonies.
State semifinal. We got Hampton against Meadowbrook. Call you blue, call you white. You're captains for a reason. You're leaders on your team, okay? Exercise some leadership for us out here. Hit them as hard as you want to, within the bounds of the game. After you hit them, get away from them. No taunting, no trash talking, none of that mess, okay? We don't want to be a factor in this game. If we have a problem with somebody, we're to come to one of y'all first. Unless it's real bad, then we're going to take care of it. Just give me 48 minutes of good, hard football. Okay, gentlemen? Hampton, that's a coin right there. That's tails. That's heads. Call it before I flip it, please. Hampton is called heads. It's heads. You've won the toss. You want the football. Meadowbrook, which way do you want to kick? You want to defend the scoreboard. Okay. Put your backs down there, please. Hampton, put your backs down here, please.
The Hampton Crabbers.
Good luck, gentlemen.
We appreciate that.
All right, and I'll give you the rest of the officials for today's contest. Jeff James, as I mentioned, is the referee. Eddie Elliott is the umpire. The linesman is Tyrone Brown. The line judge is Melvin Knight. Side judge is Charlie Gann. Field judge is Preston Harding Jr. and Phil Stenstrom is the back judge. And these officials are from the Southeastern Football Officials Association, working this VHSL semifinal game between the AAA Group Division 5.
Well, that means that neither one of these teams have seen these games. None of these officials seen these games before. These teams.
I would assume that would be the case.
And that's a good point too. Hampton loves to get the ball and take it down and score right away, put pressure on their offense because Hampton's got such a great defense. As you said, they're only giving up 7 points a game. So looks for a good contest. Tim, we will pick a player of the game from the Hampton Crabbers today, and that player receive a shirt. It comes from the Tidewater Team Sports, your one-stop sports headquarters for screen printing, embroidering, uniforms, apparel. Call 594-0411 and talk to David Chubb or Terry McNamara.
Actually, we'll pick two players of the game.
Yes, we will. We'll try to.
All right, you want to do that real quickly? We'll go ahead and give you the starting lineup for the Hampton Crabbers on offense.
Sean McNeil, Jr. Dominic White, Sr. Tim Richardson, Jr. Herbert Broughton, Sr. Brandon Vines, Sr.
Raphael McDonald, Jr.
Todd Nolan, Sr.
Stacy Johnson, sophomore. Ernest Harvey, senior. Tracy McPherson, senior.
Tyrod Taylor, sophomore.
And the kickoff is a short one taken by one of the upmen at the 32-yard line, and he is out to the 37-yard line. That would be number 43. Is it 30?
Paul Shaw.
That's 43.
Okay, that's Paul Shaw. And they clearly did not want to kick it to Jacoby Fenner.
Yeah.
So here's your starters on defense for Meadowbrook.
From their own 36-yard line, 1st and 10 for Hampton.
Dwayne Kelly, senior.
Andrew Fry, Sr. Francis Babarin, Sr.
John Graves, Jr.
Alan Gooden, Jr. Tion Whitlock, senior.
Ron Cooper, Jr.
James Thorpe, Sr.
Roy Halliburton, senior. Terrence Peterkin, senior.
Michael Traylor, Sr.
And those are the starters for the Monarchs. On the very first play, Tyrod Taylor back to throw. He's got Ernest Harvey, and he's got the ball at the Monarch 35-yard line. He's there for the first down at the 33.
He just got right behind the linebacker on that side, Tim, and just was wide open, and a nice pass from Taylor. Just kind of lobbed it up and let him adjust his route to catch the ball.
Kind of caught the Monarchs by surprise on defense, I'm sure. They marked the forward progress to the Monarchs 32-yard line. So very quickly, Hampton is already in good position. Now there's a flag thrown from the near sideline, and they're going to do a sideline caution to get the team back, stand back to a certain area. So usually, and I'm looking down there, they really aren't that close to the side. So apparently the official setting the tone early.
Maybe one of the coaches got a little closer.
In any event, it is a first down for the Crab. But there's no penalty on that. It is a warning, and then if there's a second occurrence, then there can be a penalty assessed.
I think Meadowbrook was looking to see McPherson get the ball right off the bat, and he didn't get it.
Mike Smith doing something the other team didn't expect. Imagine that. Now they do see Mr. McPherson, and he is inside the 25 to about the 23-yard line.
Well, one thing we'll notice with the Meadowbrook team, they are very quick. They're not very big, but they are very quick.
Here is the replay of McPherson's carry. This will be down from the ground level. Get a chance to see it.
Coming right at you.
Yep, coming at you. This is McPherson. Good block downfield to Springer for a 9-yard gain on the play. Second down and 1. Just underway here from Ed Carpus Field at Crump Stadium in Chester, Virginia. This is McPherson getting the call. He's got some running room to the left. He's racing to the corner. He's got the 15 and dragged out of bounds at about the 12-yard line, and that'll be a first down for the Crabbers.
The one thing that you'll notice that the Monarchs will do, they'll most of the time will be in a 5-3 with a man right over the center, which will take care of that play that Tyrod Taylor likes to use going straight up the middle.
This is McPherson going to the outside, running for the corner, and taken out at about the 13. It's going to be first down. The Crabbers, of course, can get a first down without scoring. We are 10:50 remaining in the first period. Hampton with the initial drive of the ball game. Taylor on the quarterback draw play, and Meadowbrook was very alert to that play. They've undoubtedly seen the films from last week in the Phoebus game where Taylor did a lot of that very successfully.
And there were a lot of Monarchs around him that time.
So that's going to be a short gain. Actually, they don't even move the markers, so there's no gain on the play. You're going to see Taylor stood up almost immediately on a good to-the-ball quickness.
Gang tackled about 5 or 6 Monarchs in on that.
No gain on the play. Second down and 10. From the 12 on the option pitch, and the ball loose on the ground and covered very alertly by McPherson. So, again, no reason for that. This is the 13th game of the season, but just sometimes you just don't quite get the hand. A little bit nervous.
You take your eye off the ball, too.
Well, you're a little nervous, too. You know, this is not your regular season. This is the big time. This is a win in advance, and lose and you go home. So
he was running without the ball.
Yeah, I think he just looked downfield to see where he might be headed. And you know what? It doesn't matter whether you're in high school or the best pros. They all do it.
They do that.
So brings up a third down after the 3-yard loss now. Third down and 13 to go. Almost 14 for the Crabbers. And now Taylor is going to call timeout as he looked over the defense and saw something that wasn't to his liking. And so the Crabbers will burn their first of 3 different timeouts.
Well, today's crew, we've got Nathaniel Braxton, Susan Bowers, Ron Baton, and Mike Nowinski on the cameras. Graphics and animation, we got Andy Foley. On slow motion instant replay, Andre Mattingly. Camera controls, Sarah Myers. Production assistant, Suzanne Higgs. Audio and chief engineer, Don Scharouse. And director producer, big guy, Scotty Beam Me Up Bowers.
Crowd still filing in here at Carpus Field. In fact, as we look down, there was some buses bringing some of the fans up from the Hampton area that got here just about 15, 20 minutes after 1. And the officials actually started the game about 5 minutes early.
A little early.
So some of the fans still coming in, and there might have been some incorrect rumors that this game was a sellout because there are seats very much available. But the Crabbers now looking at a third down and almost 14. Taylor, again, this time they pitch it to McPherson on the left wing, and he is not going to get anywhere.
Inside.
What a great defensive effort by number 5, Nathan Munford, as he read that play perfectly and stopped McPherson for another loss.
Well, McPherson needed to break inside on the block right here.
He started well. They had a man there.
There was another man there.
He took a peek, and then he who hesitates is lost. Now we got a flag down on the play, and it appears to be against the Crabbers as the Monarch captain is saying we will refuse the penalty. Listen to referee James will tell us. And they're going to refuse it. Fourth down. So the holding call will be declined by the Monarchs, and Hampton will be looking at a 4th down. And let's see where they mark the ball.
Well, no
be about
field goal
16.
attempt.
Got a slight breeze, and it's not of any great severity, but the kicking game for Hampton, which started out very shaky in the season and was very much solidified with Ty No coming on to kick for the latter half of the season. But they're not going to go for a field goal here. This is a go for the touchdown or a first down. This is Taylor, and Taylor will be stopped well short of a first down.
There's a lot of pressure.
Just barely got back to the, or nearly got back to the line of scrimmage on that. So the Monarchs will get a lift here as they'll take over 1st and 10 at their 15. Watch this replay. You're going to see Taylor started to throw the ball, then stepped up, had one man to beat, and he could have gotten some serious yardage there, but a good defensive stand by the Monarchs, and they get it on downs. 8:59 remaining here in the first period. No score. Bob Hintz, Tim Cole, along with Mike Hauser and the ever-present Bob Killen, who's watching the game.
Ever-present.
Well, most of the time.
Most of the time.
All right, we'll give you the lineups here in just a moment, but right now, the Monarchs.
2 people in motion.
And that will definitely not be missed by these officials, as it looked like Flag Day on the field as they got it. So let's show you the Monarchs starters. Nope, well, hold on for a second. We'll get that for you just a moment.
Well, the penalty, I don't know if they're going to show it or not, but we had the man, the wing back was in motion, and then the other back in the backfield moved at the same time.
So the Crabbers will accept that penalty and, of course, make it now 1st down and 15. Don't believe they actually had the right to refuse it. I think it was an illegal procedure. Never got off the ground. So it's 1st and 15 inside their 9-yard line are the Monarchs. Man in motion. And a handoff inside for a short gain. Tjorn Whitlock is the ball carrier. And now here are the starters on offense for the Monarchs.
Maurice Baskerville, Jr.
John Graves, Jr.
Andrew Fry, Senior. Francis Babarin, Senior.
Brandon Oliver, Jr.
Kenny Mestet Connor, Senior. Rodney Nichols, Jr. Roy Halliburton, Senior. Ron Cooper, Jr.
Tjorn Whitlock, Senior.
Chris Walker, Senior.
And led by the senior quarterback, Chris Walker, the Monarchs picked up about 3 yards on that play. It'll be 2nd down and a long 13, short 12. Left-handed quarterback throwing, completes the pass. Near sideline, that'll be enough for a 1st down as Roy Halliburton hauled that one in.
He was wide open, Tim. Nobody picked him up coming out of the backfield.
And here are your starters on defense for the Hampton Crabbers.
1st down, Meadowbrook.
Daniel Carroll, Senior.
Dominic White, Senior.
Brian Alsink, Senior.
Tim Richardson, Jr.
Sam Green, Senior.
Sharon Childress, Jr.
Ernest Harvey, Senior.
Jacoby Fenner, Sophomore.
Tony Adams, Senior.
Jeremy Kroon, Senior.
Todd Nolan, Senior.
So the Hampton defense now looking at a 1st down for the Monarchs. Handoff in the backfield, giving the ball to Alan Gooden. And he is tripped up on a nice defensive play for a short gain.
I'm not sure who that was.
There you see the Hampton side. Band having a good time as they are getting into the contest early. And a good crowd here from Hampton on hand for this game this afternoon. Temperature game time in the, I would say in the low 50s, upper 40s. Beautiful afternoon.
It really is. That was Jeremy Kroon, number 7, that made that tackle for a 1-yard gain.
2nd down and 9 for the Monarchs. Walker throws and completes the pass at the 40 after the 43-yard line. That'll be another 1st down. That one caught by Tjorn Whitlock coming out of the backfield. He is generally their number 1 running back. But Whitlock did a nice job making the grab.
Boy, he made a great job of a throw, too. The Chris, what's his last name?
Chris Walker.
Yeah.
53 completions out of 118 attempts on the season, over 1,100 yards and 15 touchdowns. One of the things I noticed about both of these quarterbacks, Walker being a senior, Taylor for Hampton, the sophomore, very few interceptions.
Yeah.
Only 3 for Walker all year long. That's amazing. But it is the 1st down for the Monarchs. They're out at about their 43-yard line. And again, they keep that man in motion all the time. Inside handoff to Tjorn Whitlock, and he is stacked up for a loss on the play.
Jacoby Fenner.
You'll get a chance to see this on the replay. Again, they always bring a man in motion. This time, Whitlock started into one hole, bounced outside, and the pursuit of the Hampton Crabbers was too quick as he was thrown for a loss of about a yard, almost a yard and a half. Let's call it second down and 11 for the Monarchs. 5:47 remaining in a scoreless first quarter. The winner of this contest plays next Saturday afternoon in Richmond for the state championship.
Straight
the
ahead.
loser's season is over with. This is Whitlock stacked up after a short gain. Might have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. So not much happening in there, although the Crabbers have had a little bit of difficulty initially here with this motion that they bring. But this time Whitlock is hit hard right after a short gain.
And picked up about 2 because they had a second and 11. Tim, their most success they've had so far has been the pass, and I look forward to throw it at this time. But Hampton needs to put some pressure on the quarterback.
We got an official's timeout.
Equipment problem. Ernest Harvey has to go out and get his helmet fixed, and that brings in number 44, Childress.
Ball marked at the 44. Speaking of that, third down and 9 for the Monarchs. Still got the ball. Quarterback faking, looking, and now feels some pressure and is going to be driven out of bounds at about the 46-yard line, which will bring up a fourth down and about 7. So Walker looked downfield. His intended receivers appeared to be very well covered. Watch as he'll roll to his left, which is his natural side, and is a left-handed quarterback, but just had no chance to do anything with the ball, and they'll bring on their kicking game. This will be William Rudd. Billy Rudd will be the punter, and he is, in fact, number 12, Bob. They changed the roster on us yet again.
Well, they had him 26 and 12, so I don't care.
Good rush from the Crabbers. He kind of rushed it, got a good line drive kick that'll go out of bounds at about the Hampton 21-yard line. So the Crabbers unable to return the punt. Todd Nolan, who's done a great job for Crabbers on their special teams, could not get to the ball before it went out.
No, he couldn't. Tim Zooms has given the award to the senior football player on each one of the teams this year who has demonstrated academic excellence. These players will be awarded plaques at a school board meeting after the season. I've been informed that's going to be in January. We'd like to thank David Allen Zooms for the continued support to WACS and the student athletes, and I will give you those athletes at our next break.
21-yard line is where the Crabbers will start with their second possession. First time they had success passing to Harvey, but after that, the defense for the Monarchs stiffened. This is McPherson trying to get to the corner, and again, he's dragged down from behind by the aforementioned Nathan Munford.
Yeah.
That's the second time Munford. He must be the spy. He must be the young man who's been assigned to follow McPherson because he's done a good job. Although, he still picked up 3 yards.
Yeah, those athletes that are receiving plaques for the Zoom Award at Bethel High School is Jamal Williams, at Hampton High School, Brian Ossink, at Kickingham High School, Greg Gunter, and at Phoebus High School, Chris Swartz. I want to congratulate those young men for their academic achievement.
Second down and 7 for the Crabbers out of the I formation. Taylor, play action fake, looking, wants to throw the ball, got a flag downfield.
Where's the flag at?
Right at the 45-yard line. The back judge here threw the flag. I'm not sure what he saw from being 30 yards away from the play, but he saw something. It might have been too much time, perhaps. He don't normally would be involved with that. Referee is going to come over and say something to the coach. It might be a sideline infraction again.
That's Coach Bowles.
If this is their second penalty over here on that,
That's what it is. It's another sideline warning. You get one. I believe you're penalized on the second occurrence. So that'll cost the Monarchs 5 yards, and that's one of those silly things that you got to keep your team. This official over here just isn't going to let him get close to the field.
No, he's not going to take any. And that is, can we give him his name?
Well, I'm not sure. Is that you got his number?
Yeah, number 80.
Yeah, number 80. That is Preston Harding Jr., who has called a penalty. So that's a big penalty against the Monarchs because now it's going to be second down and about 2.
right, that's why they got the 5-yard penalty.
Taylor will be under center. He's been alternating going into the gun last week against Phoebus. Did that a lot. This time he's under center. Split backfield.
And they tried to draw him offside, Tim, and it did not work.
So now they burned their second timeout with better than 3 minutes remaining in the first period. The Crabbers now will be left with just one timeout to continue for the first half.
Well, listen, I made a boo-boo last week when I was talking about the Box Hill fast pitch softball team, and
You made a boo-boo?
inadvertently somebody had told me that Mr. Bunny Brown was no longer with us, but I'd like to report that the reports of his death had been greatly exaggerated. Bunny is well and living in Newport News, and we hope and wish him all the best. And our apologies here at Channel 46.
Sometimes you report what you hear, and it isn't always accurate.
Well, I didn't know how to verify that.
That's right. I mean, you didn't have the fact checkers working on that one. But Bunny, we're glad to hear you're still with us, and may you have many, many more years to go. All right, so after the timeout, the Crabbers, second down and 1.
2nd and 1, Hampton.
Ball is...
They're sending Harvey off again for something with his face mask or his helmet or something. Maybe he's got a little blood. I'm not sure what the reason is, but Harvey comes out. And
Donovan Cotton will come in his place.
Keeping the eye for Hampton.
So what is taking quite a while to get taken care of is this second down and 1 at the Hampton 30. No score here in the first period, 3:27 remaining. Taylor gives to McPherson. McPherson is dragged down for a loss again. This time number 50 and on the stop, Francis Barbarian.
Well, this team is very fast. You're not going to be able to go wide on them and get around the corner with a lot of
watch this replay.
Success.
They have really honed in on McPherson, and so a loss on that play of about a yard, third down and about 2 for the Crabbers. The quickness of the Monarchs is doing well for them. They're not real big, as you said, Bob, but they're fast. Good tackling. Third down and 2. Taylor keeps it on the quarterback draw play. He would appear to have a first down.
He got it.
This is interesting, though. The Crabbers struggling to get a couple of yards, so this is, a kind of an ominous start to the game. But I will say that, and having said that, they struggled early against Phoebus last week and then got going. And, sometimes just a quick spark, and they'll break out of this thing.
Well, what really hurt them on that first drive was that pitch that was fumbled. It took them, out of field goal range, plus out of chance to get down and get it, because they could have got a first down without getting the touchdown. Good shot of Mike Smith on the sideline.
Taylor back to pass, wants to swing it to the near side to McPherson, and it's thrown behind him, and he's unable to make the grab, and it was almost a lateral or backward pass, but it was ruled a forward pass, so they won't lose any yardage. It'll be second down and 10 at the 33. 2:20, and of course the clock stops with the out of bounds pass. Incomplete pass. I'll get it right yet. The winner of this game will play next Saturday afternoon in Richmond at UR, and that's a 4 or 4:30 game
4
time.
4 o'clock was in the paper. on the website. It said 4 o'clock. First one's at 12 or 12:30, and then 4 o'clock.
But as I mentioned, for the Crabbers to get there, they have to win this one. Taylor, play action, wants to throw. He's got a man open downfield and just can't quite get to the football. And coming out of the backfield, that was Sharon Childress. And again, I'm sure the Monarchs were looking for Todd Nolan on that pattern. Yeah, I want to mention to you the reason that that picture bounces a little bit as you see the incomplete pass to Childress. The fans on this side do kind of like the Duke crazies do down there at the camera stand. They jump up and down, and this whole place shakes. But for the kickoff, we had it.
And look where our cameras are.
Yeah, there you see our positions on top of the press box here. So if your picture is jumping a little bit, it's not because of anything we can control. It is third down and 10 now for the Crabbers. On the option, the pitch right away to McPherson, and McPherson will pick up 3 yards, and that's it. So it'll be fourth down.
They got his number today so far.
Well, the one thing that the Crabbers coaches do so well is make the adjustments when things need to be adjusted.
And they'll make the adjustments during the game.
All right. Here's the pitch. And McPherson, coming into this contest, McPherson had just had an outstanding season, 249 rushing attempts, over 1,800 yards, 33 touchdowns, and he averages better than 7 yards every time he touches the ball. So McPherson, a formidable running back, but so far the Monarchs have had his number. The kick is a high kick, not particularly long, takes a sideward bounce, and now it starts to go back upfield, and the Crabbers will down it at the 43-yard line of the Monarchs, so they'll have excellent field position for their second possession.
Bassett's punt is down by the
Well, you're right, Tim. That's about where they were when they punted.
44-yard line.
So Bassett's kick kind of took looked like one of your 9-irons, did a kind of a backward thing there after it hit the ground and was coming back.
Oh, talk about my 9-iron. Boy, I had a great game yesterday. Ronnie, ESPN 8, the state, and I need to get him out there and get some film of me. 1 in a million. So every now and then you get a good one.
All right, the Monarchs now give the ball to Whitlock, and he's got running room. He's got some sideline room to go. He's down to 20-15 and taken down inside the 15-yard line. Look back upfield, and no Hankies on the field, so that play will stand. And the Monarchs strike quickly with a nice run by Tiorin Whitlock. Here we see it on the replay. Whitlock will be coming near you. Broke right through there, and then got to the corner and made a nice cut.
Well, he did, Tim, and not only made the good cut, but the Crabbers took a wrong angle on him, and he just did a little dip inside and went outside and picked up a lot of yardage.
43, a lot of yards to be exact. And that'll put them in a 1st and 10 at the Crabber 12-yard line. Walker under center. Gives to Whitlock right up the middle, and Whitlock is down inside the 10 to about the 6-yard line. So he drags tacklers for a pretty good gain to the 6. Of course, starting from the 12, they can in fact get a first down without scoring. They'll mark him just short of the 6-yard line.
The Crabbers were down there on the 12-yard line, came out empty. We'll see what the Crabber defense can step up.
Gain of 6 on the play, 2nd down and 4 for the Monarchs. No score, as you see in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. This is the quarterback, still has it. Walker wants to throw. He does, and it is a flag down. Is it a touchdown, or is it... We had holding on the offense, so that will wipe out the touchdown. It was, in fact, thrown to Halliburton, and Mike is also telling us he was past the line of scrimmage.
He was past the line of scrimmage, too.
Let's see if we can see that.
Because the line of scrimmage is at the 7.
Right. It's a moot point. He let it go at the 7, so it was close. But the point is moot because the holding will negate the touchdown. And it is a spot foul.
Yeah, they'll take it back to the 15.
10 yards, Eddie.
So you can hear the officials talking about it. Jeff James is going to tell us about it in just a moment. So the ball is backed out to the 15. So, well, he won't. He's already indicated it was holding, and
that's all he's going to do.
That's
enough of that.
So the Crabbers dodge a bullet there as the touchdown had, in fact, occurred, but a holding call on the play negated that. We are at 8-second mark here in the first period. No score between Hampton and Meadowbrook. State Group AAA Division 5 semifinals coming to you from Chester, Virginia. Same day coverage here on Channel 46.
Same play.
Walker to the 10 and is dragged down inbounds at about the 8-yard line, and making the stop for the Crabbers was number 21, Samuel Green. Still, they need a first down to keep this one going, and they can do so by getting at least to the 2-yard line. And that is the end of the first period. We've played 12 minutes here in Chester, Virginia, and our score after 1 is Hampton 0 and Meadowbrook 0. Well, Bob, both teams have had good opportunities to score here in the first period. Hampton got down to a 1st and 10 at the 13, but only to see that effort go for naught and lose the ball on downs. And now the Monarchs are trying to do something more than the Crabbers were able to do so. Had a first down at the 12.
And this is third down. If they don't get it, they very possibly will kick a field goal. They have been known to fake field goal kicks and run a play from it. So I don't know what's going to happen, but This Zoom's one of our corporate sponsors. Has that Beantown coffee, fried chicken, pizza, potato wedges, Krispy Kreme donuts, so we get the box in one.
We're shifting stuff around here. I think that someone brought in a new batch of pizzas, and that's going to be serious trouble.
A new batch.
So it is third down.
Yeah.
So let's reset it for you if we may. The ball is going to be third down and 6. The ball is marked at the Hampton, at the 8-yard line. Closer to the 7. Man in motion. Handoff inside to Whitlock, and he will be stacked up at about the 5-yard line. And they're throwing footballs up in the stands here. A couple of them hit the glass.
Was that what it was? I thought a bird flew into it.
It was a big yellow bird. So now they're going to bring on the kicking team, as it appears as though we're going to see Bill Rudd try a field goal. Looks like it's going to be from, let's see where they spot the ball, about the 13-yard line. So that'll be a 23-yarder to just left of center. And I don't have any stats on their kicking game, but maybe I can find something here. Let's see what we got. Rudd will try it from 23. The kick is long enough.
It looks good.
And it does look good, and it is. So the Monarchs get on the scoreboard first with a 23-yard field goal from Bill Rudd. Let me see if we've got anything about Rudd in here.
11:13 to go, second quarter.
I want to talk a little bit about the Peninsula District. Mike Smith was Division 5 Peninsula District Coach of the Year. On the first team, we had, first of all, Defensive Player of the Year was Todd Nolan. Offensive Player of the Year was Elon Lewis. On the first team, we had defense Dominic White, offense and defense, Jacoby Fenner at linebacker, Herbert Broughton at tackle, Tracy McPherson at running back, and Tyrod Taylor at quarterback. Also, we had Chris Swartz, Thomas Johnson of Phoebus on offense, Stephen Friday, Moss, and Lindsay on defense for the Phoebus Phantoms. Bethel had Lamar Tynes and Jamar Jackson. Kickingham had Mike Gaddis. So that's some of the young men that made the All-Peninsula District team this year.
And again, if your picture shakes a little bit, as you see right now on your screen, that's because these metal stands, they're not concrete, and when the fans jump up and down, this whole press box shakes.
Well, I'm getting seasick here. I don't know if that helps or not.
So the Crabbers find themselves trailing, not one of the things that has happened to them very often in this year, although they did trail last week to Phoebus at halftime, but only to come back and win that game with a second-half touchdown. So the Crabbers will get the ball out to about the 29-yard line. Fenner returning the kickoff. The ball went right through one of the up men's hands, and Fenner able to corral it and bring it out to almost the 30.
Well, I tell you, that kickoff has worked for him each time. He's just driving it low.
See, it kind of deflected, and then Fenner almost lost his footing there, but did in fact, they'll mark it squarely on the Hampton 30. We have the first down, 11:06 to go in the half. Hampton trailing 3-0. Same day coverage here on Channel 46. Glad to bring it to you. Taylor over the middle completes the pass to Childress.
Nice open field tackle.
And a nice open field grab by Jerome Childress. Childress has not been the primary or even the secondary receiver for this team. The primary is going to be Nolan. The second man through there is going to be Harvey.
Right.
And we don't know whether Harvey still has an equipment problem or what the case. You know, you mentioned the possibility of some blood. I don't know whether he might have got a cut lip or something, and they're not going to let these players play. But that's true speculation. We have no idea whether that's the issue or not. So a 17-yard pickup for the Crabbers, and obviously a first down. Taylor stumbles a little bit coming out from under center. He gives to McPherson. So looks like the Crabbers now, one of those adjustments we talk about, rather than trying to get McPherson to go wide, they're going to slant him off tackle or off guard.
Yeah, move him up straight ahead, because this team is so quick. Monarchs.
Well, that's how I think, again, I'm not an expert, don't propose to be, but I think you negate well, I am.
Okay.
You negate the opponent's speed by going directly at them rather than trying to run away from them, because that's when you get in trouble. Nice pickup on that play. Picked up 5, second down and 5. Now McPherson will try the left side, and he'll get to midfield, so a pickup of a couple of yards and bring up a 3rd down and 3.
I tell you, they are quick coming off of their blocks. The Crabbers are putting a hat on the defense, but they're getting around them and making tackles, because not one guy is making tackles. 2 and 3 Monarchs are in on the tackles.
Monarchs coming into this game have never been in this position before. They've never made it to the state semifinals. This is a first for them. They've been playing football since 1963, and this is their first semifinal state championship game. Taylor has time, throws, completes the ball for a first down at the Monarch 41-yard line.
And that looked like
that is number 22. That is Stacy Johnson. So Johnson is just a sophomore, and he's on the receiving end of another sophomore's throw. Of course, Tyrod Taylor, for those of you who don't know, is just a sophomore, has 2 more years. And a lot of people are talking about some great things for this young man down the road.
Really, I just watching the official. It was an official's timeout. I don't know what the deal was.
Sticks have not been moved, so we're waiting for confirmation of that play.
You may have heard the PA announcer saying the sticks haven't been moved. There's the flag. Flag was thrown here on the near sideline.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against Meadowbrook for second sideline offense.
Wow. Actually, it's their third, but the second one they've been penalized for. So that's unsportsmanlike conduct. That should be 15. Woo. And that is going to be a really painful penalty. Wow, this guy on the near sideline is a stickler on the guy staying away from
he's down there talking to the coaches, saying where you need to be.
Well, you know one thing, I'm looking across the field, and the Hampton players are almost in the stands because they're not going to take it each other. They're standing on the tartan track.
We ain't going to get involved.
No, not going to get one of those.
That was a 10-yard completion.
So a 10-yard completion, but a 15-yard penalty after the fact, and now it's a first down on the Meadowbrook 25-yard line. That is a painful penalty. This is McPherson, and he's to about the 20, so a gain of almost 5 on that play. So again, you can see that adjustment now. Instead of trying to go wide, he's been going off tackle, and that's had some
success on the first 2 carries. He went wide, but after that they
look at that
shut
hole,
him
Bob.
down. Yeah, nice hole.
Huge hole for him to run through.
And then
there.
on that
Great
right side, we got Dominic White and Brandon Vines on that right side of that offensive line for the Crabbers.
So it's second down and 5. If you can pick up 5 on every first down, you're going to be in real good shape throughout the ball game. And a handoff to McPherson. And as he tried to cut, he slipped. Now, this field, as most high school fields at this point in the season, is not very green, but it's in pretty good shape.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good shape, yeah.
But you can lose your footing nonetheless.
Watch this right there.
He just kind of tried to cut to the right-hand side and lost his wheels. So it's going to be third down and 6. He's going to lose about a yard on that play.
Do we need to call AAA?
I think he might have had a blowout there on his right sneaker. Third down and 6. This is a big down for both teams.
Well, they've got
trailing right now. Taylor wants to throw. He does. Completes the pass to Nolan, and Nolan has his first grab of the day, and that's going to be very close to a first down.
That is a first down, Tim, where they mark it. Definitely a first down. They put the ball right at the 15.
It is, in fact, inside the 15-yard line. That will move the chains.
That's a flanker screen that he run that time.
Quick completion to Nolan. I believe that's his first catch of the ball game.
Absolutely.
First time they've gone to him. They've gone to Childress a couple of times.
And to Harvey. But you're right. That's the first pass.
And speaking of Harvey, by the way, he's back in there. So they've got Johnson to the near side and Nolan to the far side. And then at the tight end, or actually in a slot position, is Childress. This is that flanker around that they did last week against Phoebus. Nolan had a flag down on the play. Might have been a crackback block. That's just a quick speculation, but a flag down at the line of scrimmage. Pickup of about 4 on the play. But we're going to see a hold against the Crabbers.
Holding against Hampton.
So that will hurt their drive.
6.
In addition,
he had picked up about 4 yards, and that will be a spot foul right at the 15, though, the line of scrimmage. So that'll make it 1st and 20.
Yeah.
Actually, first and 19 because it's a yard shy of the full mark. So the foul occurred a yard downfield, if you will. So it's first down and 19. 7:22 remaining in a very low-score defensive battle the first half. Crabbers still not on the board. They trail 3-0.
And Nolan is lined up at the
swing pass almost deflected. This is McPherson as he is knocked out of bounds. Well, let's say he actually went down inbounds at about the 19-yard line.
And that was close to being intercepted. I don't see how quick that.
Well, they might have just got a hand. I don't know how quickly they might have intercepted, but you'll watch if you can see this on the replay. The defender is going to throw a hand out there, almost batted it down. But a nice throw and completion from Taylor to McPherson coming out of the backfield. So they mark it just inside the 20. And it is second down and 15 to go.
That's a 6-yard gain on that play.
It looks like they moved it back.
Taylor, same pass. Nolan caught it, and he is struggling to get to the 15. Might have been stopped shy of the 15.
Ronald Cooper, number 14, linebacker, make this tackle.
So they pick up about 5 on that play. So that what in essence is taking them 2 downs to get back to that holding where the holding call hurt them. And it'll be third down and 10. Almost, well, they mark the forward progress short of the 15. So it'll be third down and almost 11. This is very likely to be 4-down territory for the Crabbers.
Oh, there's no doubt.
We're at the 6-minute mark here in the first half. 3-0 Meadowbrook. Taylor wants to throw. He's got a man open, incomplete, just at the goal line. His intended receiver, Tevin Swansneed, but that ball was just thrown a little too far ahead of him, and it goes incomplete, fourth down. Here's your replay. Taylor has plenty of time. Good job of giving him protection. He just missed the throw. Swansneed had actually gotten past the defender on the play.
He was open,
just didn't quite get it to him. So a big fourth down now. Crabbers could try for a field goal, but will not go to the kicking game. And in fact, will go to try and get a first down at least. They need to get inside the 5-yard line to do that. Taylor has some time to throw. Throws in the end zone for Nolan. Touchdown.
Touchdown. What a nice throw.
Todd Nolan, when you need some points and you need to make a catch, he's the young man to go to. 16-yard pass play.
And you see why he's then the go-to guy. They've thrown about 4 or 5 to him. They've done a couple of those screens, flanker screens, and here's the replay. Just a nice throw.
Oh, with 2 defenders. I mean, the 2 defenders deep in the far right-hand corner of the end zone, and Nolan, who's got just incredible hands, makes the grab for the touchdown and gives Hampton the lead in the ball game for the first time. Tyno will try to tack on the extra point. His kick is up, and it is good. So the Crabbers make it 7-3 with 5:43 to go here in the first half.
Wow. Oh, you got to go. You go all the way down to fourth down to get it in the end zone.
Fourth down and 9 yards to go, and they complete the pass. That's Nolan's 16th touchdown reception of the season. Coming into the contest, 47 grabs, over 1,260 yards. And he averages 27 yards per catch. So not too shabby as the young man has just been phenomenal all season. A senior, Todd, I haven't heard about where he might be going to play ball.
Any Division 1A school.
I'm sure. He does. He returns kicks. He also plays a very nice
he was defensive player of the year in the Peninsula District.
There you go.
And the only reason he probably wasn't offensive because of Lewis.
Well, that's got to be pretty much accurate.
That was 70 plays, Tim.
No, 70 yards.
10 plays. And how many?
5 minutes and 30 seconds.
The compliments of our statistician.
Mike, I got the number right, Hauser. Kick is taken at about the 13-yard line.
We got a flag.
Flag down on the play. The ball returned by number 7, Terrence Peterkin. But a flag down in the area where you might expect a illegal block. Here's the replay of the kickoff. See if we can pick up the penalty.
Chop block.
But a chop block ball against the Monarchs.
So that'll hurt the Monarchs. And, before the game, we were sitting up here, and I overheard a couple of people in the press box who are familiar with Meadowbrook where we're not. And they were talking about that one of the successes they've had, and it almost is always the case, is they've been very, very efficient in not turning the ball over. And the consensus was in order to beat Hampton, they would not be able to turn the ball over or commit a lot of silly penalties.
Well, this one hurts them.
Yes, it does. You can't start your possessions inside the 15-yard line. So they'll mark it to the 13-yard line. They'd gotten it out almost to the 30, so that is a big penalty. And that's where the Monarchs will start, trailing 7-3. Quarterback Chris Walker, senior. And Whitlock, his star running back, is also a senior. This is inside handoff to Halliburton. Roy Halliburton, he too is a senior.
Well, that was Harvey and Fenner in on the stop. Both of them playing that linebacker spot for the Crabbers.
Forward progress mark to the 16-yard line as you watch the replay here. They have a very unique.
7-0 Virginia Tech over Miami.
They are very deceptive because they have a lot of people moving in a lot of different directions.
Well, that's what the whole idea of the wing T.
Yep.
He's going to keep it quarterback.
The left-handed quarterback escapes one tackle. That was Dominic White that missed him, but he will not be missed, and he is dragged out of bounds, and they keep moving the clock. That's odd. And emphatically thrown to the ground,
Richardson
was Walker. And that was Tim Richardson.
Yeah.
Watch this. You're going to see Richardson going to get him here and make sure he goes nowhere. How do you not rule him out of bounds?
I don't know.
He certainly didn't stop his forward progress until he was thrown out of bounds. That's the same official that's penalized the Monarchs by 20 yards.
I'm not going to say anything bad about him because I don't want to have him throw a flag on the crew up here.
There you go. 20-yard line is where they mark the forward progress. 3rd down and 3. And got a double reverse, and that's going to be big yardage. Out to the 30-yard line. That'll move the sticks on a nice deceptive play by the Monarchs. That was
good call.
Nathan Munford who ended up with the ball.
Ernest Harvey on the stop.
Watch the misdirection.
They give it to one man, and he's going to hand it off to another. Double
handoff. Handoff to number 5.
Munford. Ernest Harvey in on the stop, along with Tony Adams. So they'll move the chains as the Monarchs are able to get the ball out to their 30-yard line. We have 3:50 remaining in the first half. Hampton 7 and the Monarchs of Meadowbrook 3. Their score coming on a 23-yard field goal. Walker, left-handed quarterback, rolling to his right, makes it difficult to throw. He does throw off the hands of number 13, Kenneth Mistake Connor. And boy, how much time to go through life saying, gee, that was a mistake, Mr. Connor.
He threw that helmet when he was off the field when he did it.
That ball was in his hands.
Open.
And you know what? I either heard footsteps or he was thinking about where he was going.
Yeah.
And again, it's so easy to do. Watch this replay. You're going to see the ball.
How well he gets out of.
It's a nice
problems.
throw. Walker does a great job here, running to his right, left-handed quarterback just off his hands, and you can see his exasperation right away. He knew that was one he should have caught.
Well, I tell you what Chris Walker does, Tim, is he did a great job of squaring his shoulders up when he was running to the right. Being a left-handed quarterback, you've got to square those shoulders up to get a good pass and some good information, some good zip on it. We got forward.
Play action fake over the middle, intercepted by Todd Nolan. That was just overthrown poorly to the same receiver, Mr. Connor.
I don't know why we didn't have a penalty on that flag. If you'll see, the man in motion is going towards the line of scrimmage.
He absolutely was. This is not the CFL in Canada. You cannot be moving towards the line. You're absolutely right, Bob. Good catch on your part. So they'll mark it at the 42-yard line of the Monarchs. So Hampton now with a great opportunity to perhaps add some more points before halftime.
Just a couple clicks less than 3:30, as you would say.
2 seconds less. That's right. 3:28 on the clock. You picked that right up off of me.
I tell you, I pick a lot of things up from you, Tim. Well, I'm not going to tell people all the stuff I
hope not. You see a good look from the ground level of Tyrod Taylor as he calls the signals and perhaps changes the call. He's got Harvey and McPherson in the backfield. The handoff will go to McPherson, and he is tripped up on a nice defensive stick by number 50, Francis Babarin.
Boy, Francis did a great job that time of submarining in and just knocking the wheels out from under McPherson.
Picks up about 2.5, almost 3. Let's call it second down and a long 7.
Well, I tell you, Coach Bill Bowles done a good job of getting these young men ready, and they are just very good at their fundamentals.
Now we have an official stoppage of play, and we have a timeout being called by the Crabbers. So that will be their third and final timeout of the first half. It comes with 2:55 remaining in the half.
Just for the fans to know that the today's game is, well, I can tell you what it's going to be, but they'll already be watching. Right? Maybe I can get the official over here, the guy doing the announcement to make, the pizza guy. See if he can say, hey, guess what?
This game will be broadcast on same-day coverage.
See if I got a blank one in my bag.
What you need?
Hey, they need halftime sheets. You know,
I don't have those.
I don't either. That's not our responsibility, is it?
Not my department.
Not my department.
I'll tell you, it's
halftime sheets.
Just a beautiful sun-drenched crowd here on hand as the Hampton fans have showed up in numbers again. The visitor side of the field almost completely filled, Bob.
We found out whose responsibility it was.
Uh-oh.
Hauser passed lateral the ball to Killen.
He's easy. All right, second down, rather, and a long 7, 39-yard line. Hampton has used their final timeout. Taylor looking to throw on the near side, now goes downfield just out of the outstretched fingertips of the receiver on the far sideline. That was trying to pick up the number.
It looks like Snead again.
Was that 11 or no? That's 10. That's what was throwing me off.
Oh, it was 10 Branch?
Yeah, that's Branch. Devin Branch. That's why I couldn't see the other number. And I thought it was Branch because Tevin Snead is a little smaller than Branch.
Third down and 7.
So that stops the clock with 2:49 remaining, and third down and, as I said, a long 7 to go.
Half a yard shorter than that.
Branch is 5'11", 200, while Snead is 5'10", 170. So Branch has got a little more meat on his bones than Tevin Snead. So the Crabbers need to get 7 to keep this one going. Of course, again, we're very much in 4-down territory. Taylor has plenty of time now, rolls to his
he's got
right.
room.
He's got some running room. He gets by one would-be tackler and then goes out of bounds, stopping the clock after he gets the first down. So Tyrod Taylor, who just did a phenomenal job running the ball last week against the Phantoms, he hasn't done much tonight.
Yeah, but that's a great job of him rolling to his right and seeing nobody there.
And then someone whiffed on him because they had a shot at him, but he is elusively quick.
Well, that was a good job also stopping the clock. So the big old number 74 was chasing him. That's John Graves, 6'3", 242, just a junior here at Meadowbrook.
25-yard line of the Monarchs is where they've marked it. This is McPherson, and he is stopped cold in the backfield on a nice defensive play. This time, again, number 50, Francis Barbarin,
I think. He introduced himself, so if you're not sure, go back and rewind
the tape.
Also 3, second down, 13.
So they lose 3 on the play. Second down and 13 to go for the Crabbers as we are now watching the clock move closer to the 2-minute mark.
Tim,
2:13.
That's 4. That's a loss of 4.
Yep.
He's a teacher. He's in
Laura, according to people up here.
Taylor has some time. Now decides to run. He's got some running room on the left side. Flag down in the backfield. It's probably going to be a holding call. And Taylor will do a nice job of getting down to what would be a first down, but the penalty flag more than likely will bring it back.
Referee's a flag.
Penalty flag is down on the play.
That one's coming back.
So unfortunately for the Crabbers, a holding call will cost them. There you're going to see some of the contact, and that's where the flag was thrown.
Be a 10-yard penalty.
So you saw Taylor on a nice move as he just drags a tackler out of bounds and stops the clock with 1:52 to go.
And Tim, that's from the 31-yard line.
Oh, yeah, that's a very, very painful penalty there because the Crabbers would have been first down at the 11-yard line, but instead they'll be all the way out to the 41. That's a 30-yard penalty in essence when you get all done with it. So it'll be second down.
25.
Well, they got a second 25 play.
I'm sure that they have a second and 26. We saw it before.
Yeah. You think the people here are saying they're going to pass. You think they might? Well, they may not. You never know.
I got Todd Nolan. I got him on a fly pattern to the end zone. Got him over the middle, and it is a poorly thrown ball. Looks like it was picked off at the 20-yard line. Overthrown for Todd Nolan, and the Monarchs do come up with the interception. So the drive by the Crabbers will be wiped out. Now, is there some discussion about the ball? Let's hold up everything. They're saying it might have hit the ground.
Yeah, hit the ground.
And that's the call. And to the dismay of the Monarch fans who are directly in front of us, that ball will go back to the Crabbers, and they'll get another opportunity. It'll be third down, but boy, that looked like a good interception from up here. But it's hard for us to sell.
The guy from the behind the interceptor is the one that said it was good, and he really didn't have the best angle.
Well, how many times have you seen it on the big-time television, college and pros? It looks like a good catch, and then you'll see just a little bit of the ball. We'll see here. It's hard to tell. We're just not close enough to really be able to see, and the officials, to their credit, are right on top of that play. So the Crabbers will get a second opportunity. This is Nolan on a fly, and almost caught the ball. He was double covered again, and a nice job defending the play by Michael Traylor, number 6. And then also on the play was Nathan Mumford.
On the breakup of that Taylor pass.
So Taylor threw it up and almost, that's the kind of the play that becomes somewhat commonplace for Nolan. But he just couldn't quite come up with that ball. That was a nice effort on everyone's part.
Yeah, I
and a
looked
good
for him
defensive
to punt the
play.
ball. Because with 136, that's awful good field position to turn the ball over on a 40.
Well, it would appear that they are
do.
going to, in fact, go for it. Fourth down at the 40. That's showing a lot of confidence in your defense if you do not get the first. Taylor wants to throw deep and throws for Tracy Johnson, and it is knocked away. And again, same kind of coverage. This is Roy Halliburton and Michael Traylor who are there to break up the play.
And in all fairness to
Michael Traylor.
Who are you talking about, Johnson?
The young man who was receiver.
Johnson, 22.
Stacy. If it would have been a little further, he would have had a chance because he did get behind the defensive coverage.
Yep. So the Monarchs do, in fact, get the ball back. They had it apparently intercepted it, and, of course, that was negated by the official overruling the interception. As you watch the replay, there you see Johnson down in the corner. He had a shot at it, but couldn't quite get his hands on it. Walker pumps, throws, and he's intercepted himself. This is Ernest Harvey, and Harvey has it to the 45-yard line. So back-to-back
interception turnovers.
But this one will stand up as Ernest Harvey picks off the pass, and Hampton will start from the 44. So still 1:17 to go in the first half, and Hampton with 4 opportunities at least to try and get back on the board again. This is the interception. We're getting a little bit of color strangeness up here on our monitor. Looks like we've lost our red in our picture.
But only on the replays.
Yep, only on the replays. So the Crabbers will go from their 45. The Monarch 45. Taylor wants to throw and underthrows. Almost picked off again as uncharacteristically for Taylor. He's usually very accurate with his passes. And there's not much of a breeze, and there's no rain. And
well, in all fairness to the players, look at the shadows.
Yeah.
The receivers are looking back into the sun.
And this was something that I thought was interesting because Hampton won the toss. So they were able to receive. So they're looking into the sun to begin with. They will not be looking in the sun in the fourth quarter. And the defenders who had the option will be looking into the sun in the fourth quarter. So that could be a good and a bad thing. If you're a receiver looking back, it's hard to find the ball. But if you're a defender, it's also difficult. And that sun will get low in the sky and difficult to see the ball. Second down and 10. Taylor again going exclusively to the air and airs it out, almost caught at the 7-yard line by Todd Nolan. And again, the back defending was Traylor and Peterkin. And that ball just overthrown by a hair. And it brings up third down and 10 with 1:03 remaining in the first half. Tim Cole, Bob Hintz, and Mike Hauser and Bob Killen coming to you with the Channel 46 crew here at Ed Carpus Field at Crumpton, I think it's Crumpton Stadium.
Crumpus.
Carpus Field at Crumpton Stadium. I got it written down here. It's the Crump Stadium. Chester, Virginia. Coming to you here late in the first half. This is the swing pass to McPherson. He's got some running room. Picks up a beautiful block. What a great-looking block by Todd Nolan. You know, that's what
you think that's all he does is catch the ball.
When you think you're a college coach, this young man does all of it. He couldn't spring him for the big play, but he did get a first down, and they went out of bounds. So they accomplished two very important things there. They moved the chains, and they stopped the clock. They'll mark it at the 33-yard line. That's where the Crabbers have 4 more downs and a little bit less than a minute to work with. As you recall, they've used all 3 of their timeouts here in the first half.
Nolan comes down here to the split end on the near side.
And no one's picked him up. No one at least heads up on him. We'll see if Taylor wants to go that way. Nolan's getting a good workout here. Over the middle, got a man wide open at the 10-yard line.
No, that's Branch.
That's Branch again. Number 10, first down and goal inside the 10-yard line. Again, the clock will stop with 46.2 seconds to go on it. Will not be restarted until they get the chain set.
26 yards on that
26-yard pass play, and the Crabbers now, the clock will be restarted. They still got plenty of time, 45 seconds. And
we
now,
got a timeout for the...
Well, what is it? Someone's called timeout. Crabbers cannot. They're out of timeouts. So that's timeout to Meadowbrook.
Well, that helps the Crabbers.
Oh, yeah. It helps them immeasurably, but the crowd over here was, of course, and the people in the press box were saying, oops, Hampton's calling a timeout. They've used them all.
Reset the clock to...
You got the clock reset?
44.
You got that?
44?
Reset the clock to 44 is what they're saying.
Folks, our officials have asked that the clock be reset to 44 seconds.
Although 44 minutes might be a little long.
I think he's got 44 minutes.
That's right. But it might take a little while to run that one off.
44 minutes.
Okay. Go find out soon.
This is going to be one of those. This is a really long first half here. We're gonna,
he says we seconds a minute. He said we'll find out when we start the clock. You got to love the guy. I think it's a little more than 44 seconds.
This is a big break for the Crabbers, though, because they were going to be watching the clock move. The clock was moving with 38 seconds.
First and goal.
And a timeout was called. You might be able to hear Mike Hauser. I don't know if they can hear him. I can sure hear him. He'll be doing play-by-play in the future, but not.
We got a official down here on the sideline trying to get that to 44 seconds instead of 44 minutes.
Yeah. That's what they're waiting
40. That's what it is too. It's 43:59. So they're going to have to figure out how to get.
Well, go to 1 minute and run off until you get 44.
There you go.
Now we got it. Now he's got it. 43. Is that close enough for government work?
I think so.
I think so.
In any event, the Crabbers with a big first down and goal at the Monarchs 7-yard line. After the completed pass to Branch, who has just not been one of the primary receivers this year, but Taylor found him. This is Taylor, and he keeps it to about the 4-yard line on the keeper, and the Crabbers will have to hustle up to get back and set up because their clock is moving, 29 seconds and moving. Crabbers, will they down the ball? No, yes they will. So Taylor simply downs the ball using one of their downs. Now it breaks it 3rd down and goal at about the 6-yard line. Well, let's see where they did mark him before. 4-yard line, 4-yard line, 3rd and goal.
Quarterback Tyrod Taylor spiked the ball to stop the clock with 22:06 remaining.
So you see Mike Smith with young Mr. Taylor on the sideline, bringing the play back to the huddle. And now the Monarchs will burn another timeout. And that's just their second. They will have one more. And, of course, with the clock stopped, there's no great advantage to Hampton for the timeout being called because the clock was already stopped with the spiked ball. So the coaching staff for the Monarchs wants to make sure they've got the right defense in place for this very crucial 3rd down with about 22.6 seconds remaining in the half. Our score is Hampton 7 and the Monarchs of Meadowbrook 3. The Monarchs scored early with a 23-yard field goal. Actually, not early, but early in the second period, I should say. 11:13 to go in the second. They kicked a 23-yard field goal from Bill Rudd. And then Todd Nolan was on the receiving end of a 16-yard pass from Tyrod Taylor. And Tyno's extra point made it 7-3.
And I see Tyno over there warming up. Maybe he's going to, if they don't get into, well, if they can score a touchdown, he's got to be warmed up to kick the extra point. But I don't know whether they'll use him for a PAT or not.
3rd and goal.
At the 5. Inside.
Taylor rolling, trying to get to the corner, and will spin away from a tackler.
He got out of bounds and stopped the clock.
Good for the Crabbers' cause, as that does stop the clock with 14.1 on the clock. And it is 4th down and goal. So now the field goal attempt would be, in essence, an extra point.
Yeah.
But does Mike Smith want to settle for a 3-point attempt, or is he going to go for first and a touchdown? He's got to get a score.
Actually, he did get out of bounds, so the clock is stopped.
Hampton taking a lot of time deciding what they're going to do. Taylor has come over to the sideline, now comes back onto the field.
To get nailed with a 5-yard penalty here.
They're about to get
Taking too long.
caught for delay of game if they don't get this play off. Taylor does apparently get it off. The pitch to McPherson. He's racing to the corner. Can he get to the corner? And he is in. Touchdown.
Did a great job of reaching the ball out and getting it across the goal line.
Touchdown, Hampton.
In a game of inches, it was just a matter of reaching out and getting that pylon, and McPherson was able to get there with 7 seconds remaining in the half.
One of the Monarchs had a hold of him, Tim,
Yeah, they
but just
absolutely
couldn't
did.
bring him down.
And that is the 34th touchdown of the season for Tracy McPherson. And it comes with 7 seconds remaining to the half, and that could be a huge score here in the ballgame. Tyno's kick is up, and it is long enough, and it is good. So the Crabbers,
7 seconds, Tim.
with just 7 seconds to go in the half.
Regulation for the first half. It is
McPherson. So it's Todd Nolan and McPherson, the people who have got the Crabbers to this point of the season, led by Tyrod Taylor's passing and running. And the Crabbers have extended their lead to 11 points as we're just seconds away from the halftime ceremonies. The winner of this game will go on to play the late game at the University of Richmond next Saturday afternoon. That will be a 4 o'clock start. That's 45 yards on the drive, 7 plays, and just a minute 10. And it comes after an interception by Ernest Harvey, and another one of those marquee names that have done so much for the Crabbers this year.
7 plays, 1 minute 10 seconds.
Ernest Harvey coming up with a pick. Todd Nolan. Or was it Nolan? Was it Nolan that got the pick, or was it Harvey?
Harvey got the interception.
No, that's what I thought.
Yeah. But they had another one that Nolan got earlier. Yeah, but the one that they scored on was the
one after Harvey.
Yeah.
And,
If you read the paper last couple days on Meadowbrook, they stated that they're
well, we got a penalty on the extra point. I guess it looks like we've got
What was the penalty for?
must be a celebration or something I don't understand, but maybe we'll get it here.
we'll let the referee tell us.
Ball,
Was penalized for excessive
unsportsmanlike conduct against Hampton. That's enforced on the kickoff.
You heard it. So Jeff James, our referee, has informed you. Apparently the team enjoyed that touchdown a little bit too much. So just 7 seconds remaining. It will be Hampton's intent to kick this ball and get it to consume the entire 7 seconds and do away with any chance for a run back or any additional opportunities for the Monarchs before halftime. But let's see how this plays out. They do kick it long, and we got a flag down. Apparently,
we're offside on the kick.
Well, you know, usually you just let that run because then you can come back and penalize them later. But they did, in fact, blow the whistle, throw the flag. And that will be a situation where no time will be taken off the clock.
And you notice the tie-no is not kicking off.
No, that's Bassett, I believe, isn't it? Or is it? No.
No, it's number 64, Tim, for the Crabbers. That's Brian McNeil, who is the center.
Sean McNeil, I believe.
Sean, I'm sorry. Did I say Brian? Yeah, there you go. Can't get them right all the time.
So Sean McNeil, and now
McNeil, M-C-N-A-I-L. I think, isn't that McNeil? Or is it McNeil?
I don't know, but a very short kick, and that ball is live. And the Monarchs keep it live because they pitch it back on the, looks like the Stanford band play. And that will consume the entire 7 seconds that had been on the clock. So why not? You know, you got no time to work with. Give it a shot as long as you don't give it up and let a touchdown get running against you.
Really.
So a very difficult contest for both of these teams in the first half. A good defensive effort as both offenses have had their moments. But we've reached halftime, and we have a score at halftime of Hampton 14 and Meadowbrook 3. We'll return to Chester, Virginia and Ed Carpus Field right after this brief timeout. Welcome back here to Chester, Virginia, as we are here at halftime. The halftime ceremony is just about concluded. Our score at halftime is Hampton 14 and Meadowbrook 3. And we have some halftime stats for you. First of all, for the Crabbers, they had 20 carries for 63 yards. McPherson, the leading ball carrier, with 14 for 36. So he didn't get a lot, Bob. He only averaged about 2.5 yards per carry. And they pretty much shut him down early in the first half. But then the adjustments were made, and McPherson had a pretty good second quarter. The passing department, really, that's the big difference in this ball game, as Tyrod Taylor hit 9 out of 19 and was not intercepted. He had 124 yards, and the leading receiver, at least yardage-wise, was Harvey with 31 yards.
Yeah.
And the Crabbers, 187 yards all totaled in the offensive department in the first half. 9 first downs, no fumbles, no turnovers, and they were penalized 4 times for 43. As you watch some of the replay, this is the touchdown McPherson as he lunged into the end zone and just barely got there. As you can see the official with the hands in the air to indicate the touchdown. For the Monarchs of Meadowbrook, they had 13 carries for 87 yards. Whitlock, the leading ball carrier, as he has been throughout the season, 7 catches for 61 yards. And the passing department was where they really faltered, as Walker had just 2 of 5, and the other 2 that he didn't throw completed to his team, to his dismay, threw to the Hampton Crabbers. 2 picks, 1 for Ernest Harvey and 1 for Todd Nolan. Just 28 yards total passing. Whitlock, one of those grabs for 15 yards. Total offense in the first half for the Monarchs, 115 yards. They had 5 first downs to the Hampton 9. Neither team did fumble, and they were penalized 5 times for 43 yards. The penalties really became a big factor because Hampton benefited greatly from that penalty for the unsportsmanlike call on the third warning for the sideline.
Yeah, they really did. Tim, today's contest is also brought to you in part by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home. They're located at Hampton Center Parkway and North Armstead Avenue. For more information, give them a call at 827-4670 with Nancy Staten is the manager. And Zooms, of course, is giving an award to the senior player on each one of the football teams this year who has demonstrated academic excellence. These players will be awarded a plaque at a school board meeting in January. We would like to thank David Allen and Zooms for their continued support to WHCS and our student athletes.
Bob, you may have mentioned it, but if you didn't, I want to remind you to thank Joey Richardson,
yeah.
Who was instrumental in helping us here at the stadium.
Most certainly. She met us here when we came up Tuesday to talk with Coach Bowles and the staff here at Thomas Dale, and was great help to the Channel 46 crew.
We really appreciate all the help. We are always appreciative of it, and we get a lot of help everywhere we go. So, all right, the Crabbers will kick off to start the second half. It's taken, actually fumbled at the 20-yard line. Now it's picked up, and out to about the 27-yard line will be Halliburton, who picked up the loose ball.
Yeah, that was could have been a real problem. And if you notice, Tim, that the offense is looking into the sun,
right,
start the second half.
And there you see Halliburton as he gets it out to the 27-yard line, where the Monarchs will take it over as they trail 14-3 to start the third period. This is single elimination. The loser of this game is done for the season. The winner goes on to the Division 5 championship game next Saturday afternoon at 4 o'clock at UR.
Nice trap play right there.
Whitlock, they found something at halftime to work off of, and he is all the way down to the Hampton 41-yard line.
Well, Tim, that was a play he ran earlier in the contest, and he picked up a lot of yardage. We watched this trap play.
But not until Tiorin works the ball up.
Huge hole and a quickness on Whitlock's part.
40-yard line where it will be.
And number 21, Samuel Green, finally brought him down.
They mark the ball squarely at the Hampton 40. First down for the Monarchs as quickly they come out of the trap and come up with a big play. Just underway here in the third period.
Coming back on a counter play.
The counter play will be good for about 3 yards as Nathan Munford gets the call for the Monarchs.
And he's stopped by Dominic White, who is a tremendous offense and defensive lineman for the Crabbers.
He is the anchor of the center of that line. There's no question about that. He lines up right over the center. Mo Bassfield. Yeah, you can see the long shadows here as the sun will be setting in the next couple of hours.
And this is that play right up the middle again.
Whitlock again bulling his way very close to a first down depending on the spot.
Harvey White along with Fenner in on the stop.
They need to get to the 30, and so they'll be about a half a yard, almost a yard short, third down, on a big play here early in the third period.
For Hampton, 3rd and 1 for Meadowbrook.
Gives him 100 yards on 9 carries.
Whitlock, you might have heard that, 9 carries, 100 yards on the afternoon. So the Crabber defense has given up 100 yards to this young man, and he's done it rather quietly, actually. But a couple of big runs have been
same play,
and that's him again. They have found something that's working, and they're going to keep doing it as a first down is marked at the 24-yard line, a gain of about 6, almost 7.
Again, White at the bottom of that pile, along with number 61 for the Crabbers.
Watch this replay for the first down. You're going to see good blocking, good surge of blocking on the offensive line by these Monarchs.
Right now, the Monarchs are controlling that line of scrimmage.
Certainly did on this possession. Mark it at the 23, first down. Monarchs trailing 14-3.
Again,
inside handoff. Yep. Down to the 20-yard line goes Whitlock.
Well, that time he went over the left guard rather than the right guard.
And I'll tell you, that whole formation and the movement in the backfield is very deceptive. It's very quick, and you've got to be very alert to it. And the Crabbers have had a tough time now earlier in the third period.
What they're not supposed to do is watch the backfield. They got keys, guys that they key on, different keys, whether it's the quarterback or who, but you don't watch all that movement in the backfield.
Second down and 7.
We're going to be a pass.
Walker rolling, looking, and he is tripped up after a short gain. A penalty flag down in the backfield.
Yeah, you got holding.
Also a Crabber somewhat shaken up. It looks like he'll stay in the game. That's Tim Richardson, who is bending over. And
number 62.
Took a pretty good lick.
Tim is 6'2", 240, just a junior.
He's toughing it out, though. He's not coming out of the ball game. But a holding call against the Monarchs, and penalties have just been very, very instrumental in the Monarchs this afternoon.
It moves it back to almost, what is that, 33?
33-yard line.
19.
So it makes it second down and 20 for the Monarchs.
Going outside this time.
Whitlock will get the corner, but nothing much after that. As a good job on the pursuit. Crabbers known for the quickness of their defense.
Third down.
And they make a nice stop on Whitlock before he gets much. Picked up about 5, but makes it still third and long. Third down and 17 to go for the Monarchs.
Trying to pick it up. I think it was 33. Yeah, it was 33 made the time. Jonathan King did a great job that time. A submarine in there and stopping that for a very short gain.
Ball is marked at the 29.
Well, this is definitely a pass situation. They're bringing 2 wideouts down at the near sideline. Oh, well,
halfback option. Whitlock will throw it up in the end zone way over the head of his intended receiver and goes incomplete, bringing up a 4th down and 17 now. Nichols was the intended receiver. He has been a non-factor this afternoon.
He really has, Tim, and Crabbers had 2 defenders back there.
Nichols was the number 1 receiver with 18 grabs for almost 500 yards and 5 touchdowns coming into this game. But he has not caught a ball that I'm aware of. Let me check with Mike and see, but I don't believe Nichols has caught one yet.
Has Nichols caught a ball yet?
Number 20?
For the Monarchs? No.
So it's 4th down.
Throw to once, that one.
That was the first time he's actually been thrown to. I thought that was the case, but I wasn't quite certain. 4th down and 17. And they're going to do that double reverse, and it will be Munford getting the call. He is still going. And he will not get the first down, but not for a lack of effort.
He didn't want to go down.
Not for a lack of effort, that's for certain. As Munford carried tacklers for a good 10 yards after the initial contact.
Munford, Tim, is only 5'10", 180. Just a junior, and he showed some tremendous strength in his leg.
And he appears to be shaken up on the play as he is... in your picture, kind of blocked a little bit by some Hampton Crabbers. I think he might have gotten a cramp, and I got a cramp just watching him do what he was doing. That was a superb effort on his part, just coming up a little short of a first down.
Tim, that's number 6.
Well, that's actually 6.
Michael
I thought it was
Traylor.
5.
I did too. Michael Traylor. He's the one that got hurt now. Was he the one that was carrying the ball?
I don't think so. I think it was Munford that got the call. Yeah, I think he might have been blocking in the downfield blocking scheme. But in any event, it's not going to be enough for a first down. So the Crabbers defense does the job and gets the ball on downs at their 20-yard line.
8 minutes to go.
Exactly 8 minutes remaining on the third quarter clock. Hampton 14 and Meadowbrook 3. Both teams have been able to move the ball, but no scoring so far here in the second half. Taylor gives to McPherson. He is spun to the ground after a loss on the play.
A little trap play didn't work.
That is
lost a yard, Tim, it looks like.
Andrew Fry might have taken him down for about a loss of 1.
Hey, Fry came from this offside tackle position.
19-yard line.
So it's second down and 11 after the 1-yard loss. Clock moving with 7:25 to go in the third. Play action fake. Taylor wants to go long. He's trying to get it to Nolan. Nolan has got it off the fingertips. What a grab at the 37-yard line. Todd Nolan, what a grab on a perfectly thrown pass. Meadowbrook fans on the sideline don't believe it. They don't think it was a completed pass,
they
but
think it may have hit the ground after he got his hands on it. Watch the replay.
Nolan's diving catch.
First down.
Makes it a first down.
Well, you know something, again, the official's much closer to it than we are, and I had a perfect view of it, and it looked to me like a good catch It's one of those could be, couldn't be just by the hair, but it was just a beautiful
If
catch.
you're going to single cover him,
Todd Nolan with the big play. Now the Crabbers going for the kill here as they swing it out on a pass to Ernest Harvey. He breaks the tackle, and then he's tripped up, but he doesn't do so until he's inside the 20-yard line.
looked like he's about 18. They started at the 20.
Halliburton makes the stop, but not until they get almost, how many yards on that play? 20.
20 yards that play, so that's...
There's Harvey from the ground level, tripped up by Halliburton, but not until he gets a big first down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
Well, they've gone 62 yards on this drive already. They started at their own 20.
First down again for the Crabbers, leading 14-3. Taylor gives off on the inside to McPherson. McPherson gets away from one tackler, but then a second one, again, Michael Traylor, who's just been all over the field, still trying to work that cramp out.
Michael Traylor plays the safety. The safety's coming up making the tackle. You don't want that.
Ball is marked just inside the 15 of the Monarchs. That was a nice gain of a long 3. Second down and 7 for the Crabbers.
Todd Nolan was out for that play to catch his breath. Now he's back in at the split end on the near side.
That was as fine a catch as you'll ever see.
Yeah, he laid out.
He laid out, and he just made every effort to catch it, and he was not going to be denied. Swing pass, flag down on the play. This is Harvey making the grab, and he would be close to a first down, but a penalty flag in that area where you'd normally see a holding call.
It's exactly the call.
Holding against Hampton.
So referee Jeff James will assess the penalty. Needless to say, the Monarchs will take it.
That's about a 14-yard.
Watch the replay here.
Yeah, it'll still be
Well, Tim, the point of the infraction really hurts you on it.
Oh, it does.
And it's not necessarily a 10-yard penalty. Sometimes it can be less, but a lot of times it's more than 10 yards.
And when you wipe out what was almost a first down, then you're really looking at about a 20-yard penalty here because you lose the yardage you'd gained and so forth. So they move the ball all the way back out to the 29-yard line.
And we got second down now.
Second down, and they need to get to the 13 to get a first down. Taylor will fake and throw. Over the middle, Todd Nolan again, and Nolan is tripped up at the 13-yard line to about the 11.
I tell you, Todd Nolan has caught a lot of passes today. How many has he caught?
Well, he's really come alive here in the third quarter as the Crabbers have really gone to the pass much more than run. Third down and a long 2, almost 3, let's call it. 4 down territory for the Crabbers. There you see Ty No warming up on the sideline. And now Taylor will call a timeout. Might have tried the hard count again.
Yeah, he's exactly. You have to take your hat off to this Monarch team, Tim. Very disciplined team by the head coach, Billy Bowles.
So the timeout called by the Monarchs, their first.
We're trying to figure out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Looks like about 8 receptions. No?
Those are incomplete. He's only had 5.
5 receptions.
By Nolan.
For a total of? And you want me to take my shoe off so use my toes? Or?
Survey says.
88 yards.
88 yards.
Survey says.
88 yards, and one of those catches.
88.
One of those catches for a touchdown of 16 yards. You know, you're coming through almost as good as Mike. I mean, as Bob. Mike.
Mike Bob?
We can hear you nicely. We have a trio that we didn't know we were working with a three-headed gorilla here.
Guy, right.
Taylor on the keeper and get away from one, but not a swarm of Monarch defenders as he is thrown for a loss.
That play did not look good from the beginning.
Well, it looked like the Monarchs had that one read perfectly.
Well, not only that, Tim, I think he got kind of tripped up right there. He did.
Yep. So now the Crabbers looking at 4th down and 5. And they will...
we may see the pitch and go wide to McPherson on this side. That's what he scored the touchdown on.
Very clearly, Mike Smith and his coaches not wanting to even think about field goal attempts this afternoon. Taylor, plenty of time. Now gets the pressure and gets away from the tackler. He's got some running room if he can get to the near sideline. He's got one man kind of spying on him, and he will be stopped at about the 12-yard line.
What a great job of getting away from a potential tackler, but
now, that was good pursuit by the Monarchs as well. Watch this replay. He got away from one. I mean, right here, he's dead.
50, and that's Francis Baban.
Coming towards you, looking to pick up a block or two, but good pursuit by the Monarchs would not allow him to get to the first down marker. So the defenses for both teams have stiffened here in the third period.
Yeah.
While each team has moved the ball, but when they get inside the red zone, the defenses have come up big. So now the Monarchs will start from their 12-yard line, and to their benefit, they did not give up any points. They still trail 14-3. This is Whitlock as he bounces to the outside a little bit and then finally has stood up and stopped.
Well, he ran right into Ernest Harvey and then bounced out, tried to get away from him, and then ran into a host of crabbers.
Picked up about 4 on the play. 2nd down and 6 to go for the Monarchs as we are down to 3:45 remaining in the third period. All the scoring coming in the first half. Hampton 14 and Meadowbrook 3.
13 rushes for 118 yards for that young man, Whitlock.
This is Munford. Munford stretching it out to the left, and he will be cutting it up inside to about the 24-yard line. That should be enough for a first down.
Stopped by Tony Adams, number 1 for the Crabbers.
And that will move the chain, so the Monarchs will move it upfield. Watch your replay.
Tony Adams plays cornerback on that right side for the Crabbers.
So Adams makes the stop, but not until the Monarchs are able to get a first down at their 24-yard line. Wing T format. This is Halliburton.
Well, I tell you, they do a good job of going behind their blockers, the runners for this Meadowbrook team, Tim. They don't make a cut until they see which way the blocker is taking the opponent.
Here's your replay.
Watch the replay on it. Watch it right there. Just kind of watch it, then cuts off the blocker.
They marked the ball just short of the 31-yard line, a gain of almost 7 on the play. Let's call it 2nd down and a long 3 for the Monarchs. And now we've got an official stoppage of play for equipment. One of the Crabbers needing some attention here.
That's Harvey again.
Yep. No, actually,
no, I didn't. I'm sorry. It's 33.
Yep.
That's King, Jonathan King.
So we're set to go again. Clock is restarted. 2:25 to go in the third period. Walker hands off up the middle. Whitlock to the 35-yard line, and that will be another first down for the Monarchs.
And that time, number 62 for the Crabbers, Tim Richardson, on the stop. But they're just going right at the Crabbers, right attacking them at the line of scrimmage.
Well, you know, going back to the first half stats, they were only 2 of 5 with 2 picks. So they've pretty much forsaken the passing game and, quite frankly, are doing some good work on the run right now. And this is Halliburton again, and Halliburton is all the way out to the 45-yard line. That's a 9-yard gain.
And that was Jacoby Fenner making the tackle, but they're not making it until 9 yards down the field. That's not good for the Crabbers' defense.
Here you saw him as Halliburton did a good job of getting all the way out to the 45.
Line is outdoing.
A minute 30 in the third quarter.
Halliburton on the season, 119 carries, 690 yards, so he's no stranger to the ball. And another first down as the Crabbers give up the first down. 3rd consecutive first down after the Monarchs were able to hold on downs and get the ball back from the Crabbers.
That was 66 White and 61 Carroll in on to stop that time, and Carroll goes out and replace him as 65 Willie Hainsworth.
Ball marked at the Monarchs' 48-yard line. And they're chewing up yardage and chewing up the clock as we approach the 1-minute mark here in the third period. This is Munford, and Munford is across midfield down to the Hampton 46-yard line before he stopped. And he picks up a good 5, almost 6 yards on the play.
Ernest Harvey making the tackle.
So inside the 1 minute mark, as this game is moving rapidly along here in the third, here's the replay of that last carry by Munford. And again, you see him picking his spots very effectively. His team doing a good job blocking. And they mark it at the 46. 2nd down and 4. Whitlock has the first down and then some. Almost ran into the official, but not until he gets to the 34-yard line, and they'll move the chains again.
I think he used the official for one of his blockers.
Sure, why not? He's in the field of play.
Just a quick trap play right up the middle.
So the Crabbers are a bit on their heels right now as the Monarchs running attack is getting the job done. And Whitlock, there you saw the official on the play, almost got in the way. Monarchs could actually not run a play before the third period concludes. Looks like they'll come up to the line and get one more play away if they hurry. 6 seconds and the clock moving. They do get it away. This is Whitlock again, and Whitlock just bowls his way down to the 26-yard line.
Does a great, I tell you, that offensive line for the Monarchs are just doing a great job of controlling line of scrimmage, and we're talking Bassfield at center, Graves and Fry at guards, Corban and Oliver at the tackles, and they're just doing a great job of controlling line of scrimmage.
And that is the end of the third quarter. So no scoring in the third. Our score remains after 3. Hampton 14 and Meadowbrook 3, but they are on the move. They've started this drive from their 20-yard line after holding the Crabbers on downs. And they've had the ball for better than 4 minutes here in the third period and have moved the ball. I'm not sure how many first downs they've gotten on this drive, but it's at least 4 that I recall, perhaps 5, maybe even 6. I've lost track, but you know what? The pass wasn't working for you, so now you're going to run the ball.
And you tell your offensive line you're going to have to control that line of scrimmage and give us some seams for our runners, and Whitlock and Halliburton are taking advantage of that.
Now, conversely, Hampton, who was outrushed by Meadowbrook in the first half, 87 yards to 63, have almost completely gone to the pass. So it's an interesting situation where your two teams are going to the part of the game that's working for them.
Yeah.
And right now, the Crabbers will be looking into that sun. And that can be a severe disadvantage when you're playing defense and you're trying to see if someone's throwing the ball downfield. You can see the long shadows as we're late in the afternoon here in Chester, Virginia. This is Munford. And Munford strung out and will get a couple of yards, but that'll be enough for a first down.
And that's Todd Nolan and Tony Adams making the stop along with Brian Osink is over there.
They mark his forward progress at the 23-yard line, and that will give the Monarchs another first down. Check with Mike and see how many first downs they've got on this drive. Do you know how many first downs Monarchs have got on this drive?
10 plays, 4 first downs.
4 first downs.
I think that might have been their 5th. So into the fourth period, the Monarchs trailing by 11. This is Whitlock again, and Whitlock just bulls his way inside the 20 to about the 19-yard line, so that'll be a pickup of about 4.
Down at the bottom is number 21 for the Crabbers, Sam Green.
You know, how big right now is that late score that came with 7 seconds to go, and the Crabbers with a 4th down against these Monarchs in the first half? Yep, and a penalty in the end zone was another huge thing that occurred not long ago either. So, but that late score with 7 seconds to go in the half could be huge as we go into the fourth quarter here. This is that double handoff again inside. Munford down to the 10-yard line. Ernest Harvey made the stop.
That is working for them.
Another first down. All of these coming on the ground.
They've run that 3 times.
Here's your replay. Watch it again.
Now inside the 10.
Green down there to make the stop.
That is a 1st and goal for the Monarchs. And that's the toughest 1st and goal you can find because you're just across the 10-yard line. You cannot get a first down without scoring. But the way they've been moving the ball, now the Hampton defense will truly be tested. And they might be a bit winded here after this drive that has just been time-consuming and yardage-consuming. This is Whitlock, 5-4-3, touchdown.
He ran right over a tackler.
Punches across the goal line
A 9-yard run.
The score now, Hampton 14, Meadowbrook 9.
Here's the replay. Whoops, kind of zigged a little zag there. Might have gotten a little more of them in there, but Whitlock just bowled over. Now one of the Monarchs is shaken up on the play.
Number 6.
That looks like that's Trailer again.
Is that Trailer? He's still been cramping up, so he might be suffering from cramps, and hopefully for his team that's all it is. But Munford, Whitlock, and Halliburton just simply jammed that ball right down Hampton's throat here in the third and fourth quarters to get within 5, and will undoubtedly go for 2 here to make it a 3-point game. Would you?
I would think so.
Trailing by 5?
Yeah, because that gives you a chance, because you got a young man who can kick a field goal.
Well, you might think it's a little early to go for 2, and that would be a legitimate argument. 13 plays, 88 yards in 5 minutes and 51 seconds, and the Monarchs just bowled their way down the field like very few teams have against the Hampton defense. That's right. Need to get. That's right, Scotty. Going to miss you, Scotty. Yes, sir, Mr. Combs. Yeah, I mean, now they're apparently lining up for 1, but Bob Killen just whispered something in my ear. The way they're moving the line, you might just run it in for 2.
Yeah.
But they're not. Interesting strategy here. Apparently going for the 1 point. It's up, it's long enough, and it is good. So the coach Bowles has chosen the point of view that it's still early, and that a field goal won't be the issue down the road. But what do you think about that, Bob? Just your opinion. Yeah, we're all entitled to it.
I know that the 2-point would have made it a 3-point game. You got a field goal kicker because they've already demonstrated that.
Kicked one.
But you also have to understand that what I thought they may do, they have run a fake from the field goal, extra point, and I thought they may do the fake on that time, but they didn't. But, as a coach, you got to go with look, we can get the ball back. We know our defense can stop Hampton. We just stopped them. We're down there within scoring, and they're not going to kick a field goal. So we can stop them. We know we get the ball. We know we can drive it down there and score another touchdown. A touchdown would win the game.
All right, now I'm going to play devil's advocate on the other side for you. You're in the fourth quarter. You've only scored 1 touchdown against this team, and it took you 3 quarters plus to get that first touchdown. So you've got 10 minutes and 18 seconds to go. If you go for 2 and miss, you still need a touchdown. You still need a touchdown now. So there really wasn't the 5-point difference. Really doesn't make any difference if you miss the 2-point conversion. And in the same thought, they were just knocking Hampton back on the seat of their pants during that drive with the rush. Why not put Whitlock up the middle with that double handoff for a 2-point conversion? Just my point.
I like your point.
I think that they may come back to regret that, but time will tell.
I think Hampton's got to establish control of that line of scrimmage.
All right.
First one is
returnable. This is Fenner. Jacoby Fenner. And he is not going to get back to the 17-yard line. So a nice job. As you can see, the Monarchs are fired up. And now we'll see. This will be the turning point of the game. Can the Crabbers get the offensive attack going again? Here's you see the replay of the kickoff. Nice long kick, kind of fumbled momentarily there by Fenner.
2 of them were trying to get it, but then he just couldn't get any head of steam.
Well, everybody kind of standing around, too. There wasn't a lot of aggressive blocking on the special team that time. So now we'll see as the Monarch fans are up and exhorting their team on. It looks like the Monarchs are going to lose 5 yards for having too many players on the field.
12 players on the field.
Oh, yeah, it looks like they might even have 13.
Meadowbrook does.
They've easily got...
No, he just
Dead ball foul. Illegal substitution against Meadowbrook.
Call against Meadowbrook. Illegal substitution. 12 men on the field prior to that snap.
So now the coach is being told, if you want to come out here and talk to your team, you're going to have to call a timeout.
And that's exactly what they did.
So the Monarchs call a timeout. I believe that's the first for them in the second half.
The Crabbers have one. They have one.
You get 3 per half. So the Crabbers will get a free 5 yards on that play. It'll make it 1st and 5 for the Crabbers.
A legal substitution, thus a 5-yard rather than a 15-yard penalty.
So if you joined us late, just kind of recapping for you, the Monarchs took the lead with 11:13 to go in the second period, while the 23-yard field goal by Billy Rudd. And the Crabbers went ahead 7-3 with 5:43 to go in the half on a 16-yard pass from Tyrod Taylor to Todd Nolan. Then McPherson, with just 7 seconds remaining after an interception by Ernest Harvey, the Crabbers were able to capitalize on that turnover, made it 14-3 at half. And our only score here in the fourth period, was Whitlock's 9-yard run, and the extra point try made it 14-10.
And the second half of tonight's contest is brought to you in part by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, located at Hampton Center Parkway, North Olmsted Avenue. For more information, give them a call at 827-4670, where Nancy Staten is the manager.
All right, so the Crabbers now will get the 1st down and 5 after the illegal substitution call. Taylor, play action fake, and another flag down.
And this may have been against the Crabbers.
I don't think Hampton was set down.
So it looks like they may exchange 5-yard penalties and move the Crabbers back.
Dead ball, false start against Hampton.
This call will be against the Crabbers.
So they exchange 5-yard penalties, and we're back to 1st and 10.
We're back to 1st and 10.
10:08 remaining in the fourth quarter. A 4-point difference. The choice of the Monarchs to go for just a 1-point extra point after making it a 12-point game and assuming a 5-point game, and could have made it 3 but chose to make it a 4-point game. Taylor stumbles, looks, throws, and he's got Todd Nolan batted away on a nice defensive play by Tiorn Whitlock, who's been phenomenal running the ball, and now his defense comes to the front.
Well, and a little late in getting the ball there, because you watch, he slips a little bit right there, and he was just a little late getting the ball to Nolan.
So 2nd down and 10 as the action gets fast and furious here. A very crucial point in this game has the momentum switched over to the Monarch side. Crabbers need to regain some mo. They've had not a whole lot of time of running the ball here in the 3rd and 4th period.
Taking an awful lot of time here, too.
Taylor back to throw, has some time, steps up now, evades the tackler. Now running to get to the corner. He's got some running room and goes out of bounds, chased out of bounds. And they'll mark him out at about the 23-yard line. So that'll bring up a 3rd down for the Crabbers.
About 5, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks to be about 3rd and 5 if we can figure out where the final spot will be. Right at 4.
About 4, yeah.
Pretty close, 4 to 5.
I was in the ballpark.
We are under 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Crabbers looking at a crucial 3rd down. Want to keep this ball and keep this drive alive. High snap, fielded by Taylor, and McPherson is nailed as he makes the grab by number 14, Ronald Cooper.
Oh, he was ready for that play. A loss of 7 on that play.
But more importantly, it makes it 4th down.
4th and 10.
So now the Crabbers looking at 4th down and 10. Will have to bring on the kicking team, Marquise Bassett. And you're looking into that sun.
Everybody but one guy on the line.
They're coming, and the ball is snapped over his head into and out of the end zone for a safety.
Well, now that field goal is very big.
That will make the game a 2-point difference.
And the Monarchs get the ball. The Crabbers will have to kick from the 20.
Our new score, Hampton 14, Meadowbrook 12. Hampton will now punt.
So now with 9:14 remaining in the fourth quarter, it is a 2-point difference. So the argument for the field goal is a moot point at this point.
Hey, a field goal gives you the lead.
Yep. Actually, it's to your benefit on your argument, because if you had missed the 2-point conversion, the field goal would only tie it.
Yeah.
But you must have known they were going to have a safety. That's pretty good.
I didn't know that.
Didn't know the gun was loaded.
I'm not a seer.
So the Monarch crowd is up and cheering as the Hampton side of the field has become very quiet. The Crabbers uncharacteristically not able to execute a special teams play. The snap over the head of the punter Bassett. He never had a chance at that ball. Wasn't a matter of it slipping through his fingers. It was
way over his head.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar wouldn't have gotten that one.
Well, maybe he got a hand on it.
Might have got a hand on it, but that would have been it. So now Ty Noe will free kick it from the 20. Rather than punt it, they will tee it up, I think, to get a better distance out of it. Although it's a relatively short kick taken by one of the up men this is Traylor. This is Michael Traylor. And Traylor returns it all the way down. Alsing makes the stop, and now we've got some conversation going on, and we're going to see how this goes. Do you catch the first guy or the second guy?
However, at the
relatively short kick.
Penalty flags flew.
And there's Traylor, who suffered some cramps recently.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against them.
Oh, that's a huge penalty.
It really is.
And what happened was Traylor got up and he tangled with one of the Hampton Crabbers.
And I think it was Brian Alsing, the young man who tackled him.
And Alsing said something, but Traylor, again, I'm not saying who, because it's too hard for me to guess, but usually the guy who retaliates or responds is the guy they catch. And that was a perfect example of that happening, I think. So the Meadowbrook fans not at all enamored with the officials this afternoon, having a number of penalties of question that have been called against them. And when I say question by them.
All right, first and 10.
So it is from the 43-yard line. So that's a huge 15-yard mark-off. It would have been at the Hampton 43, but instead back across midfield. This is number 5, Munford. The Hampton Crabbers have got to figure out a way to stop that rushing attack.
Well, one thing you got to do is take out that interference. And one way to do that is to take the legs out from the people leading the interference and hope you got a linebacker or somebody back there that can make the tackle.
A gain of 7 on that play. Second down and 3. The Monarchs just rolling off 6 and 7 yards every time they carry the ball on the ground. This is right up the middle, and Whitlock has got the ball at first down and still going all the way down to the Hampton 27-yard line.
And let me tell you why they tried to take the ball instead of taking the feet out from the runner. And, man, you just can't do that. You've got to stop that runner. If you knock the ball out, fine, but you can't try to take it out in his hand. Right here, they're trying to take the ball out. And you see, he just says, well, I'm going to keep right on running.
I mean, he got 10 yards after the initial contact. All the way down to the Hampton 26-yard line. Hampton leading by 2.
Momentum is definitely on the side of the Monarchs.
Whitlock gets the call. He's across the 20 down to the 18-yard line. That's a gain of almost 6.
Harvey in on the tackle, but not until after he picks up a
gain of almost 7 on the play. They give his forward progress to the 18.
Well, they give almost 8.
Second down and about 3. 7:50 to go in the fourth quarter. Hampton leading by 2.
21 carries, 201 yards.
That's what Whitlock has done. This is Munford. And Munford breaks an arm tackle, and he is taken down at about the 16-yard line, very close to the first down, depending on the spot. Tough to see with these shadows in the sun, but here you see Munford breaks an arm tackle, and then in the
Actually, it's just shy of the
we were talking about this, and
they don't turn the ball over.
Exactly, because our director Scotty was just talking about this team doesn't fumble the ball. They have, other than those 2 picks, and they have totally abandoned any thought of passing the ball. And why would you pass when you can run the ball like this?
And I'm sure they came into this game thinking that they were not going to be able to run the ball effectively against the Crabbers, but they have established control of that line of scrimmage as we have the measurement here for whether he picked up the first down or not, and it looks like he did.
By the nose of the ball.
the first down.
So the first down at the just shy of the 15-yard line.
15-yard line.
Well, you know, last week in their victory over Hopewell, this Monarch team ran the ball 47 times, Bob. So that is their forte. And you can see why it's been effective for them. They have really rolled it up here in the third and fourth quarter. Now it's going to be whether Hampton has it inside of them to stop this running attack, because this is where the ball game is going to rest. They lead by 2. They've already kicked 1 field goal, have the Monarchs, so we know they have some range in that department. But right now, they haven't been stoppable running the ball.
Oh, Hampton in the past, we have seen the Hampton Crabbers bend, but not let the team get into the end zone. Not today.
Well, they've only been in there once, and they've still got about 11 yards to go to get into the end zone again. But, you know, they pick up 3 and 4 or 5 yards every time. That's a 4-yard gain right there.
Well, the Crabbers have not had the ball time-wise very much this second half.
Oh, it's been dominated by the Monarchs. Total of 5 minutes that the Crabbers have had it. The rest of the time it's been in the Monarchs' hand. This is Whitlock, and he's been the mainstay. He is down to the 5-yard line, very close to another first down.
Down close to the first.
Depending on the mark, it looks to be a first down. Now they're going to bring the chains in. And again, it's difficult to see with the shadows here, but
yeah, if this ball looks like it's across the,
You can't pick the ball up and do that.
and that doesn't make any sense. They're going to measure for the first down. They're going to say no, it is a third down. So that's why they picked it up and threw it.
Third down for Meadowbrook.
So the Crabber defense has to come up with a stop here to bring up a fourth down, or the Monarchs will be looking at a opportunity to march in the end zone and take this lead, or regain the lead, we should say. They led early 3-0. Whitlock's got it. Touchdown, Whitlock.
you might go for 2 now, Tim, because that would give you 21, and that would make Crabbers have to score a touchdown to tie it. So this would be a good time to go for the 2-point conversion. Well, I might just run it.
That's Meadowbrook 18.
And that looks like that's what they're going to do. They are not going.
2 would only give them a 6-point lead, Bob.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought, yeah, you're right.
I was trying to figure out the math, too. I thought you were right at first, and I said if they get the 2, they'll lose by 6, so a touchdown and an extra point would win it. But
they're going for 2 anyway.
They're going for 2. They have defied some of the logic. They're going to throw in the end zone, and they've got the 2-point conversion.
Chris Walker's pass complete.
20-14.
The 2-point conversion. Meadowbrook 20. Hampton 14.
So it's a 6-point game, and the door is left open. Now we go back to that earlier 2-point conversion
Yeah, it would have been a great thing, that earlier one. You're right.
But that's of no relevance right now, because what's really important is the Crabbers absolutely have to get a score. They have to have a touchdown or their season is over with. They've got 6 minutes and 8 seconds in which to do it.
And they've got the quarterback looking into the sun and the receivers not looking into the sun. Let's see if that makes a difference.
Now, I believe each team has 2 timeouts remaining. But quite frankly, the entire momentum of this game has switched over to the Monarchs clearly. And this is going to be quite a test.
5 minutes and 2 seconds.
I will say that if you're going to be a champion, you have to come through in moments like this, and this will be the test.
In the second half, the Crabbers have had the ball 5 minutes and 2 seconds.
And we've used 12. We've used just short of 18 minutes. Oh, my goodness. Oh, that cleared out my sinuses.
Yeah, I think
Thank you, Scotty.
They win it.
I may resume hearing at some point in time. That was quite a blast of the whistle. I don't know if the fans at home heard it or not.
Well, I did. My eyes are still spinning.
All right, it's a low liner. Fielded at the 9-yard line. Some running room up the middle. Across the 30 to about the 33-yard line. So a pretty good field position for the Crabbers. That was Tevin Swan-Sneed who returned the kick. And the Crabbers now will start from their 32, almost 33-yard line, and they've got to go all the way to the end zone to have a chance to win this ball game.
32-yard line, what will be?
Well, the best scenario is that you run 5 minutes off the clock and score.
Oh, absolutely. Or 6 minutes to be exact. But a tough Monarch team who's fired up. That's the test right now. Tyrod Taylor been held in check here in the second half. The pitch to McPherson, looking downfield, got some blocking, tried to get to the corner. McPherson is taken down. Did he get out of bounds?
Yeah,
it appears he did.
He got out of bounds.
Close to the 40-yard line. That'll be a gain of almost 7.
Looks like they're going to spot it at the 39.
Oh, almost the 38. So they didn't give him a good spot at all, or at least it appeared that he got almost to the 40. So they give him about 6 on the play. Does stop the clock with 5:53 remaining, so that saves a little bit of time. Should the Crabbers need that extra time. Double wideouts to the near side. Todd Nolan to the left side. Fake the handoff. No, they give it to McPherson. McPherson breaks through, and he's got a first down across midfield to the 46-yard line of the Monarchs.
That's the first good run that McPherson has had.
Really,
he's
been held in check
on that left-hand side. Watch this. Right there, got tremendous blocking from the Tim Richardson and Herbert Broughton.
And you saw a real good acceleration on McPherson's part there, too. 46-yard line in Monarch territory. Hampton trailing by 6.
And they don't need to panic.
Got plenty of time. As you said, Bob, they'd like to eat up the time and score with an extra point, but that's still a lot to be determined. This is McPherson, and he is bowling forward across the 40-yard line, so he'll pick up about 6, almost 7. Marcus forward progress to the 40-yard line, so it's a pickup of 6. Here's the replay from the ground level. McPherson just driving with a new enthusiasm, if you will. And not that he hasn't been running hard all day, but it's almost like, okay, Tracy, we need for you to do your thing. And what will happen is the Crabbers keep pulling McPherson into this thing that'll open up the possibility of the pass. Taylor trips as he pulls away from center, but still remains on his feet. Now he's got some running room to the near side if he can beat the big man to the corner. And he will be pushed out of bounds at about the 31-yard line. That'll be another first down. Had people open downfield, but I think he made the right choice.
Oh, I do too, because he was running for his life.
Well, you're not about to figure out at the last second on the dead run like that. You're not going to have much up. Look at that. He just saved himself there because he was about to trip himself.
And here comes big old number 74.
That's Graves again. And Graves got a hand on him, but he was going out of bounds in any event. And now the Crabbers just at the 30-yard line, a little short of the 30-yard line of the Monarchs. 4:51 to remain on the clock. Crabbers need a touchdown. This is McPherson again. Stop, cuts to the right, picks up about 3 or 4 to about the 26.
4, maybe 5. No.
They're going to give him about 5 yards on that carry.
It's been all McPherson.
Well, and a little bit of Taylor.
A little bit of Taylor. But, I mean, other than there's no pass thought going on here right now. But I'm telling you, they got to be looking at Todd Nolan. He's lining up to the near sideline. Got single coverage on the near side. Taylor on the option. Pitches to McPherson. McPherson gets a block at the corner. And he is down inside.
And we got a penalty.
That'll be on that block. I think they're going to say that was a bad block.
Yeah, it's coming back.
Tyrod Taylor optioned out to.
I think they're going to say that block was an illegal block. See what you think. Watch the block. McPherson right there from the back. It'll be a clip, I do believe.
Because he was inside the tackles. That should be a legal.
I think they're going to wave the flag off. I think that's what we're going to see.
Block in the back against Hampton.
Nope, I thought he was reaching for his flag to wave it over his head, but that's not the call.
He's reaching for the little button on his recorder there.
Left side of the offensive line.
So that is a huge penalty against the Crabbers.
10 yards.
Watch this replay and see what you think right here at the top of your, right in the middle of your picture. You're going to see the block in the back. I think that was a good call, Bob.
Second down.
Well, now we got second and what, about 17?
Second and about almost 20.
Second, 17.
And now the officials stop the clock.
We have a stoppage of clock.
Tell you what, 2 minutes has gone off this clock already.
Yeah, there's been a lot of clock running that I'm surprised we've had as much time go by as we have. Now they're going to restart it.
Now they're going to run off clock.
Yeah. Now they'll stop the clock.
Consulting with those sidelines, it appears to be involving our official time on the field.
And now they restart the clock. We're under 4 minutes remaining in someone's season, potentially someone's season.
All right, second 17 here.
6 ties the score, 7 wins it. Again, that shaking of your picture is not our camera work, but it's the fact we got a man downfield just out of the reach of his fingertips. That was Stacy Johnson. Johnson, Stacy Johnson. I'm going to say it. We keep talking over each other.
I know. He was open.
Stacy Johnson.
Stacy Johnson streaking down the left side.
Just out of his fingertips reach.
Johnson's grasp.
All right, looking at 3rd down and 17 to go.
And we got 2 very big plays. If they don't make it here, they got to go.
Taylor wants to pass. Get some pressure, throws, and it's incomplete.
He was being hit as he threw the ball and could not step into the throw.
So this game comes down to a 4th down and 17 to go.
Watch the replay right here.
If you're Hampton, Bob, do you take a timeout here to make sure you got the right call?
Well, I would. But who would I know?
Taylor will bring the play in from the sideline. This could be the ball game. 3:27 is the time remaining in the 4th quarter. Hampton trailing 20-14. Taylor back to pass. Feels some pressure. Rolls, looks, throws short. And it is going to be completed, but well short of a first down.
The ball goes over and downs.
It does. And the Crabbers will give the ball up on downs and will retain 2 timeouts.
Watch the replay. You got to get beyond the first down marker when you're on 4th down.
Now, I was watching Nolan, and he's been pretty well blanketed here. So now the Crabbers have to get the ball back with 3:18 remaining in the 4th quarter. They trail by 6.
The way they've been running, they're going to run 3 minutes out.
Well, I think that they're going to keep the ball on the ground, Tim.
I think that was, you think. Here's Munford, and Munford is gang tackled after a short gain. That's about as effective as the defense has been recently here in the second half against the running attack. Now, of course, the Monarchs will want to burn as much time as we now are inside of 3 minutes remaining. Clock is moving. I believe Hampton has 2 timeouts remaining. I'm not certain of that. They called one that I know of, but I'm not sure. I think they still have 2. And Whitlock is spinning, does not get much. Now, will Hampton burn one of their timeouts? Yes, they will.
Yeah, this would be a good time to do it because you have 3rd and long.
So now the game rests in this 3rd down and long. Hampton will burn their 2nd timeout. Got to be thinking of players of the game, Bob. And it's tough to be thinking about that right now while you've got the... I would think so, and I kind of... Well, the rest of these things are up for grabs.
Yeah.
Has he got it before?
Yeah. He hasn't, but let's see. Okay. Yeah. Why don't we go that way?
34-yard line. It will be third.
So take a deep breath, folks, because it's getting down to, as we've referred so often, to the crunch time here. The Crabbers are faced with a necessity of stopping the Monarchs' running attack here with third down and about 6. Not quite 6, closer to 6 than 5.
First down would kind of
that would pretty much do it.
For him, wouldn't it?
It's going to be crucial. This is the big play of the game, that double handoff that they do, and he is going to be short of the first down.
They hand off from Walker.
Depending on the spot, but I believe he's going to be a little short, Bob. I'm going to say he's about 1.5 feet short.
But Dior got up close to a first.
Yep, it's not even that short, not even close enough to measure.
And one.
So this is your ball game.
Well, you're going to go for it.
This is your ball game. You have to stop them now.
Or maybe they're going to try to draw the Crabbers offside.
There's a ton of different options you have here. Of course, the Monarchs could choose to kick it, but I don't think that's going to happen.
The punter's not in the game.
Well, I'm talking about they could go up to the line and use up a lot of time and then call a timeout, hoping they draw them off. And now a late flag comes down. A delay of game. Delay of game against the Monarchs. Oh, my gosh, what a huge call. Apparently, they took more than the 25 seconds, so instead of 4th and less than a yard, it'll be 4th and more than 5.
And that'll give Hampton one more crack at it.
Well, no, I mean, they got to get the ball back still.
Well, they got to punt it.
Do they?
Yeah, they do.
I don't know.
You can't give Hampton the ball here.
I don't know. Hey, strange things happen.
Granted, but I don't think you can do anything but punt.
I agree with you, but 1:50 on the clock. Stopped with that penalty. Low snap. They got it away. No contact. This ball is a sailor. And it goes out of bounds at about the 23-yard line.
A punt.
He had some wind behind that punt, too, but that was a gorgeous punt.
2-yard line of Hampton.
Bill Rudd, who had a 23-yard field goal earlier.
By Meadowbrook's Billy Rudd.
How many? 49 yards? Is that what that was?
Was that 49 yards? 44 yards.
44 yards. Boy, talk about a kick when you need one.
23-yard line.
All right, now if you're Hampton, you've got to go all the way down the field, and you've got to do it in 1:42, and you have one timeout remaining.
But you can stop the clock every time you get a first down, so that's in your favor.
But you got to get some first downs. It's been tough coming against these guys. Looking into the sun as well. Nolan is isolated on the far sideline, and a one-hopper as Taylor couldn't quite get it to him. And that'll bring us up to 1:38 remaining.
Number 9 split inside Nolan. Incomplete. 1:38 remaining in regulation.
Well, there's got to be no doubt in the minds of the Monarchs that the Crabbers are going to pass this ball. You've got just under 80 yards to go.
And you
78 yards.
And you got 4 men at the line of scrimmage and 7 deep. The Monarchs, they throw it. They complete it on the far sideline to Nolan. Nolan gets the first down and then gets out of bounds. And that it leaves a 1:38. That took 7 seconds to execute.
You see the strength of Taylor's arm, just a sophomore. Young man put a lot of zip on that ball that time. Of course, they're playing a little soft on the outside.
Now the Monarchs will burn a timeout of their own.
Just across the Hampton 36-yard line.
What about a nice little hook pattern or stop and go for Nolan? We've seen it before.
Yeah, well, and see, that's a little hook pattern he just run there.
Yeah, I'm talking about a stop and go, a hook and go is what I was trying to call it. I'm a little nervous here. The game is getting down to crunch time. We've got a timeout here.
And we need to go here, or what do you want to wait, or what?
Let's just wait a minute. But do want to mention that you and I have talked about some things, and if Hampton loses this game, this will, just for the record, will be my last broadcast here on Channel 46 for football. As I've enjoyed the last 25 years with you, good buddy. But
oh man, it's been a hoot. 25 great years.
Yep. But I am hopeful that we have one more game to do. Yeah, I'm retiring from the old pigskin here after today's game.
If you get the camera on me, Scotty, you'll see the tears. Now,
Yours
you
or
want
mine?
to figure out if they're for joy or Tim, I have really enjoyed this. Unbelievable. What a ride.
Well, let's hope there's one more game to go here. Buck 31 on the clock, and the Crabbers still 64 yards away from a touchdown. Taylor back to pass, gets good protection, now rolls and looks. He throws it right at the line of scrimmage. He's got a man wide open. He's got him open at the 25-yard line. He cuts back across the field. 10, 5, touchdown!
Are you kidding me?
No, they say the ball is a touchback. They say it came out.
He fumbled the ball.
Oh, my gosh.
If the ball got it, evidently the ball didn't get across the end line.
It's very difficult to see, but that's the call.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my gracious.
Let's watch the replay.
Here's the replay. It's going to be tough to see because of the field.
Just as the Hampton Crabbers were approaching
20. The ball came loose. Where was he on the field? It's impossible.
He was across the line.
I thought he was in the end zone.
If he looks like he was in the end zone.
Pull back, please. Oh, he was in the end zone. Look at it right there. There is the goal line right there. He's in the end zone.
Well, not a good call. Oh, yeah, if the ball, all that ball has
And
to...
the ball is right. No. You know what? There it is. That's the right call.
Yep.
That ball is loose before the end line. That's the right call.
Good call. Good call.
It was 11.
11.
Tevin, John, that was a good call. Oh, my gracious.
Tevin Squad Speed was on the receiving end of that, was stripped just.
We've got that replay for you, but it's going to be a moot point here because the knee will be taken.
Goes to one knee.
Watch this again on the replay. This is a perfect example. See, that's the goal line. And he is
number 7.
right there. The ball is knocked loose, and there is the goal line that his left foot is, or right foot rather, is on as he goes there. That ball was knocked loose.
Terrence Peterkin.
Right there. The ball is out right there. Just a yard short of the end zone. Woo! My gracious.
Again, that was Terrence Peterkin.
So that is going to be a heartbreaking defeat for the Hampton Crabbers. At the goal line, the ball grabbed and knocked away out of the hands of the ball carrier, the receiver. And now the Crabbers try to dislodge the ball after the snap of the ball, but the clock is going to continue to run. And the Meadowbrook Monarchs are going to advance to next week's championship game on an absolute heartbreaking tackle and fumble at the goal line. The Crabbers had it in their hands. If he could have made it to the end zone, it would have been Hampton on top. Now, whether they would have kicked the extra point and all those other things will remain to be discussed. But that is going to be the end of the ball game, and the Crabbers will be losers by inches. Well, our players of the game, Bob, and boy, I tell you, it's a bittersweet thing to talk about at this point. Where'd you put him?
Todd Nolan
and Ernest Harvey, I believe, are players of the game. This game brought to you this afternoon by Zooms, with 14 convenient Peninsula locations to serve you. And by Parklawn Wood Funeral Home, where Nancy Staten is the manager.
And thank you, Tim, for 25 years of a lot of fun up here in the booth.
It has been a joy. I've enjoyed every minute of it. Some of them were chilly, some of them were warm, some of them were downright hot, some of them were wet, but they were terrific moments all the time, and I appreciate that, Bob. I'm going to miss doing these games, but I've got a lot of personal commitments that are going to keep me from being able to do a lot of stuff, and that's one of the things that I have to give up. But that's going to do it for us. The final score is Meadowbrook 20 and Hampton 14. For Bob Hintz, Bob Gill, and Mike Hauser, this is Tim Cole. Thanks for watching. Good night, everybody.